We'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Xtra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los on Friday Eve. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Is that what makes you feel better by calling it Friday Eve?
Well, I just think it sounds
I mean,
sexy.
Thursday, I've talked about this. Thursday's the new Friday. It's a good day.
Yeah, I like
Nothing
it.
wrong with Thursday.
No, Thursdays are great, but it's the eve of Friday.
And no one questions you when you do anything fun on Thursday because it's Friday Eve.
That's exactly right. And
you get out on a Monday, people are like, what's wrong with that guy?
Seriously, man.
It's not football season, dude. What are you doing?
What you got to be so happy about?
You get out on a Thursday, everyone's like, hey, there you go.
Freaking go. They're ready to throw up the devil horns and or the rock horns or whatever you call them and throw back some drinks and hang out and celebrate the fact that it's almost Friday. I like Thursday Eve because how awesome is Christmas Eve? How awesome is New Year's Eve? I mean, there's just you're right there on the cusp of that. And Friday, I feel like is up there with Christmas and New Year's.
I'm with you.
Dude, I
will not argue that point.
That's why I like Friday Eve.
Like, I look forward to every time we get to Friday, but Thursday, Thursday's held a special place in my heart for a long time.
That's right. Absolutely.
That used to be the poker night. That used to be back when we lived in Alpharetta, we used to have a place that used to be open. They would have live band karaoke every Thursday night.
Sir.
So we'd head on over to karaoke before we had kids.
I've never
ruined everything.
I've never done that before.
Live band karaoke?
Never.
It was cool.
I've always wanted to because it looks awesome.
I think the name of the band was Meddlesome, if I remember correctly.
Meddlesome Karaoke?
Meddlesome Karaoke.
Time.
Man, Jure, I will tell you, there was quite a few nights where my wife and I would just be looking at each other going, you want to go up?
Yeah.
I'll go up.
Okay, let's go. Did you ever go up? Never did it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Countless times.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Wanted Dead or Alive.
That brings the house down.
Jure, what about you?
It depends on the time of the night. If I start out and it's the right mood, it's Hank Williams, If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie.
I don't want to go.
And if it gets real late, and I'm talking real late, Mother by Danzig.
Mother.
It ain't pretty.
Mother. Tell your children not to walk my way. That's awesome.
No, but it depends on the crowd, though.
Yeah, you got to feel it out.
Like, I've been over at Good Old Days when the crowd's a little bit older, and so that's the time to bust out some Jim Croce.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you might do Bad Leroy Brown.
Baddest man in the whole damn town.
And man, the octogenarians, they love it.
Let's go.
They're like, oh, you just did some 70s folk rock.
If you really have some stones and you just want to go up there and you'll get a pop out of this, a good laugh, go up there and do tequila. You got to do the Pee Wee Herman dance too while it's up there.
Hey, but there's really nothing to do though. I mean,
if you have a stage presence and you can, keep some attention for a little while.
That. I don't have that.
When you finally get to tequila, the whole room loves it.
Just okay, but that's got to be it after that first round, right? I mean, they gotta fade it on down.
Somebody might kick you out.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have the owner of Good Old Days that told me probably like a year or two ago. He's like, I've never heard anybody do that song before. It was REM's End of the World as We Know It.
Well, the fact that you know the words is amazing because I don't know all the words.
Start memorizing all of it. I don't know for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And when it happened, initially everyone kind of rolls along with it, and then it turns into, oh my God, he knows the words. And now the crowd kind of gets into
absolutely.
it. So yeah,
I love that.
No, there was That was Thursdays.
Yeah.
Thursday karaoke night.
My go-to karaoke song, "Friends in Low Places." They got me married, so that's the one I always go to.
That's a classic.
Yeah, we were at a. I don't know if I've told this story. Stop me, but we were at a. Laura and I were dating. We're at a family friend's 50th wedding anniversary party, and they rented out the room of this little Irish pub kind of place, and they had just a dude up there. He was just picking and grinning, man, just singing his songs and doing one or two of his own, but mainly covers. And I was singing along to all of them. I just knew them all. And so I was sitting close to him, so he starts interacting. We talked the whole time, and he finally says, "Hey, you gonna come up here and sing one?" And I was like, "You know any country?" He was like, "I know Friends in Low Places, but only the music. I don't know any of the words. I just know how to play the song." He's like, "If you'll come sing it, I'll play it for you." And sure enough, I did. Tore the house down, man. I've never had that sort of reaction, on stage, and it is.
But it's got if it gets the crowd to sing along, or like the reason why "Wanted Dead or Alive" works is because you got the call out and you have the response.
Yeah, what?
And immediately, the crowd has to say "Wanted."
Dead or alive.
And so that always works. And Friends in Low Places. I mean, everybody who's a little bit intoxicated immediately is like, "Oh, this is my jam."
I got friends. Yeah, so her dad gives her the elbow. Says, "You should probably marry this guy." No kidding. I'm like, that's what convinced you that your daughter. I always thought it was funny. I thought, my bank account, nothing. I'm in the Navy. I'm, broke as a joke.
This guy, they're like, man, he can carry a tune.
Dude, he get up there
and jam at the bar.
He get up there and sing in front of everybody.
So that's Thursday. That's what Thursday is supposed to represent for you.
That's right.
Thursday's a great time.
I love a good Thursday.
And I'm not having any kind of crazy Thursday night. We've got a team pool party for a bunch of high school girls.
That don't sound all that bad. It sounds like a fun time.
Not really. I mean, I got to go run over to Publix. I got to go pick up what I'm going to pick up. Now, it's not until I think 1:30 in the afternoon. So I did tell my wife, I go, I might just stop and get some Waffle House and maybe a beer or something. And all she made her whole point was, just don't show up silly. Okay, you got it.
Don't invite Tug or Dre.
Don't get together with Tug before you show up to the high schoolers pool party.
Because you'll be drunk up. He's a bad influence, that fella. That fella's a bad influence on this Thursday. Thank God it's Thursday. Dre actually had an idea for a segment tomorrow. We won't spill it here, but I think it's a good idea, and it's a good. It could actually. Work on Thursday, maybe even better than Friday. When we were discussing it, we were like, well, let's do it tomorrow. And maybe because I think it'll put a smile on your face, I think it'll be fun and funny, that we should back it up. We can do it tomorrow on Friday, but next week we need to do it on Thursday.
What are we doing to Kimmer?
Well, no, it's not. No. Nothing. No.
Do you realize I have an email that I sent myself from a couple days ago with a timestamp with a word that Kimmer was trying to say, and I've been debating whether or not I should go pull it and then edit it, and then we have fun with it on Friday.
Let's do it.
By the way, you remember we were talking about sharks? Your son caught a shark the other day. We were talking about Jaws.
Oh, Shark Week starts Sunday.
Oh, wow.
On the Kimmer hotline over here, he texted me a bunch of pictures of him hanging out. He was holding sharks. I mean, Kimmer's a shark handler.
That's so cool.
Dude, what do you mean handling sharks? I mean, sharks are rather large.
Caught it or just
caught one?
Enthusiast?
Kimmer knows sharks.
Okay.
Kimmer knows Bruce.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
That's his buddy.
My name's Bruce.
Dude, because we had went fishing down in Charleston, because Jacob, if he's not playing baseball, loves to fish, and we hooked two black tip sharks. Dude, they do cartwheels when you hook them. They're pissed. Yeah, and they're trying to get off that hook.
A lot of times, whenever we've always gone fishing in Florida, we'll do St. Joe Bay over in Port St. Joe, Florida. And a lot of times we've caught fish where the initial reaction from the captain is, that has to be a shark, because they fight like hell.
And those blacktip, dude, they come spinning out of the water. They don't even, it doesn't even look real sometimes, the way that they jump out of the water and spin and twist and turn flips and things. And so it indeed did what it was trying to do, got off the hook. And then we land another one, and we almost have it in the boat, right up to the edge where you start, the captain's down there ready to help you get that thing in. And the same thing happened, dude. It started twisting and turning and moving like I've never seen a shark move before, and it got off too. It got off the hook too. They do not want to be caught by any means or stretch of the imagination. They are pissed when you hook them.
That's why Kimmer's got pictures of them.
Well, but I'm just surprised
locked them down
that you're able to get them in there. The fact that Kimmer is a shark whisperer is
he
something.
Just stares at him.
You think he just talks to it?
Get your ass in this boat, like an old Marine.
And they listen,
and they jump up there. They just jump right in there, dude. I was talking with a buddy of mine who also lives down in Charleston. He was over on Sullivan's, and he happened to see this thing that kind of became viral, where there was a 6-foot hammerhead that was caught off. This dude was shore fishing and caught a 6-foot hammerhead on Sullivan's Island. Unbelievable. They, and it's just two dudes. And sure enough, man, they get that thing in there and they're trying to get the hook out of its mouth. And I don't know what I would do in that situation.
It is by far one of the weirdest fish you can ever be around. Because my daughter caught a smaller one, probably...
Hammerhead specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably about 8 inches in length, just a juvenile, a young one.
Yeah.
And to watch how they swim, where the head basically goes left to right, left to right, left to right the entire time. And that's kind of how it, obviously it's got fins, it propels itself, but that's the way that it moves through the water. So when you catch it, it's like the weirdest looking thing where just
dude, yeah, just thrashing
the whole
around.
time.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
This thing was gigantic, but that's the thing that I would need to ask Kimmer maybe is what do you do in that situation? Because these guys were out there, man. They're getting their hook out, and he's got his arms wrapped around its head. Because it's got the hammer thing, and the other dude's trying to get I was like, I don't know that I'd be brave enough to do that. I don't
think I'd care for it.
Yeah, I mean, I might just cut the line and be like, boss, I'm sorry about that.
You gotta go.
you got a new piercing. You're gonna have to jump back in there and do the best you can, because I don't know that I'm gonna mess with this. I don't know I'm gonna mess with you. 6 months into Trump's term, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but democracy has not come to a close.
Wait, hold on a second. I was told dictator from day one.
I know, 6 months in.
Like Aunt Peg, whenever you go over there, she's like, did you know he's going to be a dictator from day one?
Dude, she told me that at lunch one day. I had to excuse myself from the table. I think the left falls into the trap of believing their own BS. They said it was going to be the beginning of American racism and the economy would crash and this is the best thing that's ever happened to Vladimir Putin. That's the one I'd forgotten about until I read it again last night. And I was
the guy that shut him down for 4 years and suddenly he's back in office. And I mean, they actually really bought the whole idea of Russian asset. They really did.
That's what I'm saying. They believe their own BS.
That, yeah.
Now, Donald Trump's about to, and I'm not in favor of it. We've discussed it, the whole Ukraine, sending them all the weapons through NATO. And we get paid for it. Which,
oh, by the way, the update on that is NATO's going, I don't know if we really want to pay for these. You figure it out.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I thought y'all were all about this war.
That's what they keep saying it. So for them to now, back away, a little surprising. But let's say, pardon me, let's say everything works the way that it's supposed to work, and those weapons get there. How is that Putin? And the best thing that's ever happened to them. Again, they believe their own BS. They're going to be continually proven wrong as they've been. And these people are, I don't know if they're weak-minded because they're not stupid. And we've made it clear. We never want to accuse them because they're not.
The average liberal leads with their heart. And that's why they're easily manipulated. It's like me, everything you tell me, I slam on my brakes and go, hold on a second. Let me see about that. And I'm always going to be the person that goes, I don't trust you until I look into this. The modern liberal goes, what do you mean? Oh, I can save the planet? Oh, I can help people?
That's what I want.
Oh, I can do. It doesn't matter what the condition that's tied to it. They will always lead with their heart. And oftentimes it takes them down roads where they do come across as being very easily manipulated.
it's like the climate crisis a little bit.
I care for the world.
I want to save the planet. What happens later down the road when I'm not here to save the planet? We better save it right now.
It's you lead with your heart rather than with your head.
But I would say I lead with my heart most of the time. But I feel like I'm much more like you in the fact I'm like, hang on a minute. Let's make sure that what we're doing makes sense. Because, look, I love people. People I don't know, people I do know. I love people, man.
You give people the benefit of the doubt no matter what.
I try to always do that. But I'm not going to be the guy that goes, well, wait a minute. They're doing this and that's not part of the deal. And then just be okay with it.
What I would say is this. Whenever you and I have chosen to go and hang out and Jure shows up too and tells us about his, slice of tattoo, whenever we go and hang out, Tug is the first guy to introduce himself and to make small talk with anyone we're around.
That's right. That's the truth.
But he's not handing that person the keys to his truck.
By no means. Yeah,
I'm extremely friendly to you, but I'm not handing you the keys to my truck.
But I think that's common sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the way common sense works.
But the way that the liberal mind works is in order to confirm just how much you care, it's you hand the keys over to the truck.
And if you don't, something's wrong with you. Right.
Probably racist.
Or yeah, bigoted or something.
Well, I mean, you've got a 400-year history of oppression, so you just got to hand over the keys to the truck.
Yeah, that's right. And it's all you and your people doing all this.
Los, you said something a couple of weeks ago that it really it just struck me. It used to be trust but verify, but now it's verify and then I can trust you.
And then I'll trust you.
Yeah.
Like everything has to go through that filter for me every single time.
And it's understandable because people manipulate, politicians manipulate. I mean, the Mom Donnie thing, we'll get to it a little later in the show, I think. There was a big to-do that they had for him in New York City, and AOC was there, a whole bunch of people. And some of the people coming out of there was like, how could you not love him? He's so authentic. And I couldn't help to think to myself, I was like, this is the man that was eating with his fingers a few weeks ago.
Did you listen to him?
Yeah. I was like,
do you know what he's advocating for?
That's exactly right. But just lead with the eating with his fingers thing. That dude's never ate with his fingers a day in his life. Unless he's doing it to manipulate you and play on those heartstrings.
That's the game.
Always is.
Play into the heart.
Always is.
That side falls for it on a regular basis. Again, it's like my wife. My wife is a very sharp woman. She falls in line with this stuff because she leads with her heart. Me, I'm cynical. Every single time you tell me, well, if you do this is what's going to work out for people. I go,
But is it?
Hold on a second.
But is it?
And I'll then look into it for myself.
Yeah, let's look into it.
Now, if it does, then I'm like, all right, cool, let's go for this.
Let's run with it. But 99% of the time, it feels like when it comes from...
how are you playing me?
Yeah, it's what it always feels like every time. When you're dealing with, I don't know, a company, and they're out looking at whatever, your dishwasher, and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with it. They're like, nah, you're probably just going to need to buy a new one. Like, well, wait.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, Thank you.
Wait. I thought it was just a small little something. You never know who to trust. That's another thing. Trust but verify. Or verify then trust, as Los would say. When we continue on Extra 106.3, it's okay to talk to your family again. The New York Times says so. Next on Extra.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 in crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
I got this email, and it reminded me of central heating and air conditioning a little bit. Let me read it to you. I got two electricians to get quotes from. One was, big company. The other was just a good old boy, is what the lady says. Trying to get these lights installed in their house. The good old boy says, been doing this about 35 years. Runs his business from his phone. Has, one apprentice, one employee, doesn't talk too much. He just looked at everything, gave her a price. Straightforward. The other company that came out, man, it was hemming and hawing, and the price was about double what it was with the good old boy, and they had layers, and she didn't feel good about it. So she went with the local guy, the good old boy. Well, I would say the same thing about central heating and air conditioning. Chuck, just such a regular dude, just a guy that genuinely cares about people, a guy that has been running this second generation locally owned HVAC company in Atlanta for years and years. I mean, they've been around for like 76 years. It's unbelievable the amount of time, and the fact that they're second generation locally owned. Most of these HVAC companies have been sold out to big conglomerates. So what do you want to deal with? The guy, so you know his name. Chuck owns Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Do you want to work with that guy, or do a guy that you're going to have to call and hit one and then ask for and then go around and it be a long process? I'll just go straight to the guy I know. Chuck is who I recommend. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, 770-GET-HEATCentralHeat.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well, because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income, backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Braves fans can enjoy games all summer long at Truist Park with the T-Mobile Summer Steal Deal. With the Summer Steal, you can choose from one of 3 seating locations for any regular season game, weekends included, and receive a ticket, snack, and a drink for as low as $30. Or if you prefer something different, you can choose any menu item up to $12. Visit Braves.com/steal to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 17th. Marietta City Schools approved the installation of vape detection systems in bathrooms at Marietta Middle and High Schools. Before class begins this fall, the Halo Smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and text school officials when set off. Installation of the systems is expected to cost $60,000. The school system reported over 50 student incidents with vape products last year. A former Cobb County police officer drowned while trying to rescue a family off the coast of South Carolina. 38-year-old Chase Childers of Dallas had received a Lifetime Achievement Award for saving lives during his police career. His family posted online that he was a devoted husband and father who displayed courage and selflessness during his life. A GoFundMe account has been posted to raise money for the family. And President Trump says he's convinced Atlanta's favorite soda to change its ingredients. President Trump posted on social media Wednesday that Coca-Cola agreed to use real cane sugar instead of high-fructose corn syrup for American products. No official word from Coca-Cola yet. Today's weather partly cloudy, hot and humid with temperatures reaching the mid-90s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Bless your heart. That's something we say in the South. And it can go 1,000 different ways. You can be like, oh my God, bless their heart. That's terrible. It's awful news. I feel for them.
Use it the way I like it.
Or the little pat on the head. Bless your heart. What a dummy. This is...
I know you just can't function. Bless your heart.
And that's what the New York Times did. That's the article that they wrote. This is conservatives are so stupid. We need to pat them on the head and say, bless your heart. Their article says it's time to stop snubbing your right-wing family. They're so stupid. They'll never get it. You're so well-educated. You're smarter than everybody else. They're never going to get it. So it's time. We've moved. We're 5 years past COVID. Now's the time to invite them back into the house. I know they were probably trying to go to college football games during COVID. Cheer on Nick Saban, cheer on Kirby Smart like a bunch of fools, 90,000 people. No mask. Ain't a soul in that stadium got a shot.
If I may, when we were in Indianapolis, in that town for Indiana, which is red, and it's a red state, but just like most of these red states, that area, downtown area, it's blue. Just what it is. That's typical of cities.
Yeah.
They looked at us like we had three heads.
I couldn't believe you.
Because all they saw were Alabama fans and Georgia fans all walking around having a good time, going into restaurants, doing their thing, and they're looking around with their mask going, these people are nuts. No wonder they're all dying.
Little did they know, none of us were.
We were all fine.
And those players were even at less of a risk.
They were good too.
But the New York Times, they still don't know that. They still think, Los, that we're a threat to civilized society. They still feel that way. Yet, they're like, you know, they've been wrong about everything, but it's time to move on. They physically think that it's okay now to invite your family back to your house or even go to their house. Because during COVID, remember families were falling apart. They were fighting over this. People couldn't get along because one family member was, 90 shots in and wearing a mask at Thanksgiving, of all places.
I was told, and this was back in Christmas of 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. As we are driving to go see my family, my wife's family, my in-laws, I said, just know that we're going to be the weirdos. She's like, why? I go, our kids are at school. I was like, we're going to be the strange ones. And by the time because Christmas is always a little crazy because it's Christmas, and then basically 4 days later, it's my daughter's birthday. So she was having, I think it was at that point, it's like her 11th birthday. Here comes the birthday cake. She blows out the candles. My brother-in-law and his family wouldn't touch the cake.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, as we're doing Christmas outside and her birthday outside.
It's December, Los.
In December in Alabama. It's not even warm there.
Yeah.
But that's the hoops that you made me jump through, and yet the New York Times is saying that now it's time for you to give me some leeway. Bless my heart.
Dude, this is the most elitist way of looking at things that you could possibly look at. This is the 20% of crazies that still think Joe Biden's just fine, that still think you and I are the problem. This is their way of basically saying, okay, let's move on. We didn't do anything wrong. It was still all them, but it's okay now.
She blew out the candles on her birthday cake, and they wouldn't touch the birthday cake. You want to know that moment where I looked at my wife and went, see the alternate reality they're living in versus what we're doing? We just had a birthday cake for an 11-year-old girl, and they won't touch it.
These same people probably that are still getting boosters, I bet.
Nah, not anymore. Not after the heart issues.
Well, okay. So maybe then.
I laugh, and I shouldn't be laughing, but I tried to tell you.
Over and over, multiple times.
They only gave me a radio show to tell you, and I tried to tell you.
and you didn't listen. The people that they are talking to, those New York Times readers, because only the lefty loonies are left reading that. Those clowns are still getting shots and boosters and wearing masks outside and supporting Hamas. I mean, who would have thought that those would dovetail so nicely?
Here would be the cult that you would find yourself in.
Dude, it's nuts. Not only we're going to inject ourselves and our kids with crazy experimental drugs, we're also going to support a terrorist organization. And
How it's do these all align?
And it's you that's the problem. You're the problem. I'm the Jeray's the you listening right now, you're the problem. And they support Hamas.
It's the strangest bedfellows.
Dude, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. You have to be freaking crazy. My sweet Aunt Peg is nuts.
Have you ever overcooked a piece of meat?
Well, yeah, of course.
See, I don't do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
if you actually,
I ever actually did, just want to make sure we know this. But when you overcook a piece of meat and suddenly you're like, it ain't good anymore. Like it might have been the best cut of steak. You might have been so excited about this is what I'm going to have the best brisket ever, and then it comes out tasting like a shoe because you spent too long with it. I believe there's a certain point of education where that happens, where you need a mix of education and real-world experience. Like, you have 4 years in the Navy. You have a real-world experience of what has gone on. Had we sent you to college for 4 years, maybe you don't come out the same way. And then I think to myself, when it comes to, like, my friends in academia, they're the nuttiest people I know.
Oh, dude. No doubt.
These are people that went to school and then stayed in academia, and they were like the professor's assistant, and and their views are so out there. You overcook the steak, man. Like, now it's just ruined. Like, now it doesn't have any semblance of reality attached to it anymore. Like, that's what I mean by overcooking a piece of meat. If you are in that education system too long, this is what it does to you. And so there's that balance that I want for my kids. Like, yes, I want you to go to college. I want you to have that degree. At the same time, I need to make sure that you are having enough real-world experience where you realize that this crazy stuff that some of these people buy into, that's not the real world.
And that's where they come back to the foundational stuff that we talked about earlier in the show. Just the fact that when you raise a kid a particular way, most of the time they'll drift a little bit, but they come back to what they've known and what they've been taught most often. And I think that's an important thing. So when they go off to school and they hear all this crazy commie stuff, because it's happening, that they're able to look at it and go, I bet there's another side of the story. And have some curiosity. Because that's what college is about, right? Being curious.
Because otherwise you become one of these New York Times people that actually, and I think about it I'll bring it up within our own family. There was a portion of the family that looked at my wife and I, and granted, she's like aligned with what they thought about. They looked at my wife and I like we were nuts. Like somehow we were uneducated or we were foolish because we wanted our kids in school and having social interaction, or we wanted to live our lives regularly, or we wanted to go to places.
You're the problem.
Or we were the ones who decided we're gonna bypass the Uber Eats, and instead we're actually gonna go find a patio to hang out and eat at. Like, these are the things that oh my God, you can't do that. And I'm telling you, they were so overeducated and all this stuff.
Educated idiots.
Yeah.
Educated idiots.
Lacking real world experience.
1 in 5 Americans is estranged from a family member over politics. The article goes on to say, no one's required to spend time with people that he or she doesn't care for. But for those of us who feel an obligation to shun strategically need to ask, what has all this banishing accomplished? It's not just ineffective, it's counterproductive.
Oh, how big of them.
My uncle is a fanatical nutball, and I love the dude. And I would never be like, well, don't want to hang out with him over Thanksgiving. I'm like, no,
Right.
that's how nutty must you be over your politics
Exactly right,
to ostracize people in that way?
The fanatics are like the ones that are writing articles like this. That's the crazies. You know that. I know that because we've done everything that we wanted to do. And guess what? We're just fine. We went to college football games. We went to baseball games as soon as we were given the opportunity. And every one of us are just fine.
My nutty uncle is the first person to celebrate when my daughters do anything.
See, that's great. I love it.
Again,
it's not Aunt Peg, same way.
His politics is his politics, and it's way out there. But every single time we get together at Christmas, it's here's a hug, and we start talking about the kiddos and what's going on. I've never thought to myself, well, he's completely opposite of me. I should ostracize him from my life. That's stupid.
But that's the other side. Think about that's who's doing this. You just said
the whole article is based on you cut them off. Now you should probably bring them back.
Now it's okay to bring them back. What about the people that never cut anybody off because our politics have been different? I took Aunt Peg to Charleston to see Jacob play, and the whole time she was trying to push my buttons. The whole time. We're at lunch one day.
Did you know that you elected a dictator?
Dude, you say that in jest. We're sitting there in Charleston.
I know the talking points.
We're sitting there in Charleston, dude. She says to me, he said he was going to be dictator on day one.
You know.
I was like, oh, God.
You know he's going to stop elections, don't you?
That's right. You know
he's not leaving the office once his time's up, right?
He said dictator. Dictators don't leave office. They stay in office forever. They don't leave.
He wasn't even going to leave on January 6th when they stormed the Capitol to take it over.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do you know those police officers they killed? They did that for Trump.
I took my...
When he got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, that wasn't even real.
They staged it. They told him when to turn his head. That bullet would come whizzing by. He knew he was safe. This is the craziest, the wildest. And it's us. We're the craziest.
We're the crazy ones.
According to David Litt, the man that wrote this article in the New York Times.
He turned his head just in time by design.
He knew it was coming. They put that. Well, dude, look, Jasmine Crockett said it. Remember 2 days ago we played that cut? She was like,
nuts.
She said, oh, well, the Trump shooters, both of them were MAGA. What?
Yeah, they were so MAGA.
So MAGA.
They decided to want to take his head off.
Well, they told him Lowe's it was coming. He was able to turn his head just in time.
I mean, I sound crazy when I talk about UAPs and UFOs.
No, you don't.
They sound crazy when they talk about general stuff. Stuff that's been in front of your face.
That's right. That's exactly right. David Litt, I want you to know, the man that wrote this article, that it's okay to stop shunning your conservative family members. It's finally okay. They're okay with talking to you again.
Thank you, David.
He's a former Obama speechwriter.
How big of you?
I know. And listen to these books. It's Only Drowning, a true story of learning to surf and search for common ground. Buddy, he's in I think a tailspin if he's looking for common ground, because he still believes that he's above you. He still believes that he's better than you. He still believes that he made all the right decisions and you made all the wrong decisions. I don't know how you can trick yourself into thinking that you have done the right thing when it's so obvious that you haven't. No ability to reflect on oneself. David has zero ability to look internally. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3 when we come back. Did Jerome Powell commit fraud, and what happens if he did? Next on the Morning Xtra, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 17th. From the NFL, the Washington Commanders have signed future Pro Football Hall of Famer pass rusher Von Miller to a one-year deal. The veteran has accumulated 129.5 sacks during his career. The Atlanta Braves, they'll be back in action tomorrow night as the All-Star break will come to an end. The New York Yankees will be in town for a weekend series at Truist Park. The Braves currently 42-53 on the season. That's 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Atlanta Peach Movers. There's no tree in our name. Atlanta Peach Movers has over 30 years of industry experience. We service both local and long-distance, residential and commercial moves. Our promise is superior service and 100% satisfaction, guaranteed. It is no wonder why realtors are our number one source for referrals. They know they are getting the best anytime they call. Moving soon? Call Atlanta Peach Movers or book online at atlantapeachmovers.com. Proud partners of the Atlanta Realtors Association and official mover of the Atlanta Braves.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Cowart for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Clayton County Clerk Shanae Clemens and Cobb Clerk of Court Tanisha Phillips. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on Xtra 106.3.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Look at the poor Democrat Party. For years, they told us nothing could be done about illegal immigration unless they passed some more bills in Congress. How long did it take Trump to put the lie to that? 2 days.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Oh, I don't watch the ESPYs, but some of the jokes coming out of it from Shane Gillis, who hosted, are brilliant. Top of the next hour, we'll have a few of them for you because they will make you run off the road laughing.
When I told you that you have a lot of nutty, woke people. Shane Gillis is throwing out really funny jokes, and he's having to tell the audience it's okay to lighten up a little.
Because they're squirming in their
seats. Whether or not they should be laughing.
And a lot of them are looking down, like snickering, looking down at the floor.
Like trying not to be on camera, dying laughing at one of his jokes. He's like, it's okay to laugh.
Lighten up. In Trump's America.
You can laugh at that joke.
You can laugh again.
I mean, it's not even that funny. His Megan Rapinoe line.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're going to pretend she's fun, huh?
Because she said she couldn't be there. Oh. Darn. Yeah.
It's just hilarious. I'm like, and they're all like, did he just make a... You're not allowed to make fun of Megan Rapinoe.
Yes, you are, and we will. So stick around. If you didn't see the ESPYs, we're going to give you some of the best Shane Gillis jokes from the monologue and just the show in general, because he's a funny dude, and it's so much fun to see him make woke people at ESPN squirm in their seats.
I did make my wife watch the SNL bit, Couple of Beers. The new medication, Couple of Beers.
Yeah, it's so good. Dude, we played that. Didn't we play that on?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And then when you start to get sad, you start to come off it. It's just a bump or a little bump.
Yeah.
So those are the two medications working combination.
That's right.
Keep you moving.
That's right. They set it up like...
Couple of beers and...
Yeah.
And a little bump.
Yeah, they set it up like it's like one of the
drug ads
that you see on TV all the time. Jerome Powell, he might get fired for cause. That may be the way that they get rid of him. Now, Donald Trump did come out and say, I'm not going to do that.
Unless.
Unless, and he threw in the qualifier, unless he did something that would disqualify him. And look, at this point, Donald Trump knows he wants him out. He's just got to play the game right.
I think this entire administration is looking at Jerome Powell, and they're basically giving him the stink eye of it's either you go or you get fired.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of the two
is happening.
Like, granted, you have the spot until 2026, and you cannot be fired unless the president fires you with cause. This goes back to $2.5 billion that was used to renovate the Fed building. Now, $2.5 billion, just to get an idea. The joke has been you could look at NFL stadiums where they spend $1 billion or $2 billion. You're like, what did you build this?
Holy cow!
Is this really like where the money went? Like at this level? And so the accusations of fraud is what I think they're going to use in order to get him out of there. And your next meetings are July 29th and 30th.
But don't downplay it, because that's highway robbery. That is waste, fraud, and abuse on display, rubbing it in your face.
Granted, it's dirty pool on the administration's part. At the same time, it's so in your face.
I don't know how
for $2.5 billion to renovate a building.
I don't know how anybody would be okay with that. Think about that rescission bill that they passed with the $9 million cuts, or $9 billion cuts.
$9 billion, yeah.
Right, yeah. 2.5
for a building.
For a building, not to build it. To renovate it.
To renovate it.
Dude, that's filthy.
Like,
that's
did you
waste, fraud, and abuse on display?
Did you cover it in gold?
So when you say it's dirty pool, I know what you're saying. But at the same time, man, for me as a taxpayer, and I see $2.5 billion to renovate a building.
For as much as Donald Trump has stepped in it all week long, that was one of the things yesterday where it's, no, I'm not looking to fire him. But if we happen to find something, it's like, okay.
He's leaving the door.
I think I'm fully well aware what is happening here by, keep in mind, your inflation rate from month to month was 0.00. They're looking for that cut.
And once they get it, the fact that the American economy is going to be on a tear like maybe we've never seen before. It is going to be Trump's economy. The one that we've all been waiting for, the one that we've been hoping for, where your credit card rates go down. Dude, my credit card rate, and I don't say this braggingly, my credit score is good. And my credit card rate sucks. Those don't work together typically.
So I've been having to look into a mortgage recast. Now, keep in mind, I've been in the new house for like a month and a half, but the plan was always we'll recast the mortgage.
I remember you talking about it.
Because refinancing is out the window. You don't do it. But what happens if the rate comes down significantly?
Aha.
Well, then we aren't going to be out of what we were planning on recasting with. Instead, we'll refinance, we'll put a couple bucks in, and we'll recognize all the savings that'll come along with it. And that's every American. Right now, there is not a refinance market. There's no reason for anyone to refinance anything.
Non-existent. And we had refinanced right before everything went crazy. I don't know, a few years ago, 5 years ago maybe, seems like. And we still get letters from that same company saying, "Hey, do you want to refinance again?" I'm like, no.
What?
That's insane.
What do I want, a 7% rate?
Exactly. That would be insane. That's crazy. And they give you all these, you have to figure out the math problem to figure out how your refi works. They're like, if you do this and that and this, then you get a better rate altogether. And you're like, dude, if I got to jump through that many hoops, if I don't understand it, I ain't doing it.
The refinance market it's on his butt.
But that's them trying to figure out how to stimulate it.
Now, if we have a rate cut, and we'll see what the number is, it's going to change a lot of the math. And I believe it's going to give that goosing to the American housing industry where people are going to start moving around again.
Well, give it a little goose. That's if everything's right in the world.
And if you happen to be able to prove, or at least tell Jerome Powell, it's $2.5 billion, dude.
Explain that. Yeah, there was
and if he is able to explain it, well, then, okay, you're just going to wait for his turn to be over with. But they're playing some dirty games with him, and I don't exactly mind, but it is dirty.
Yeah, I don't know how Jerome Powell would say $2.5 billion for a building refi is a good investment for anybody ever. How is that the case? It would not be the. Give me one company that would say, "Hey, we're going to pick any high rise in downtown Atlanta." I want to say one of the buildings was for sale, and they had just done a full renovation at $45 million, which sounds like a lot of money, and it is. That's a high-rise in downtown. You tell me that the building that Jerome Powell stays in, works in, needed 2.5. Dude, that is beyond common sense. That is a slap in the face to anybody that pays taxes.
As of now, you have the federal housing director, it's Bill Pulte, who has made the point in writing, I'm experienced in construction.
Yeah.
Explain $2.5 billion to me.
You can't. So as much as you say it's dirty pool, and I know what you're saying, and you're not wrong, what he did isn't right either. Overseeing that? Talking about fraud. You're frauding the American people every time you do crap like this. It's no different than paying $500 for a hammer in the military when they used to do that. Now they've got it down to $100 or something stupid. It's still stupid. It's still wrong.
Well, Donald Trump has been talking about a full 3-point rate cut. Now,
wow,
that would be monstrous.
Yeah. Has that ever happened? I don't recall anything like that ever happened.
That massive from one to the next on a meeting?
Not that I've ever seen or I recall. And if you know different and you experience different, 404-741-12.
I would be on the phone the next morning.
Hello.
Hey, so let's get a refi going. What do you say?
Yes, sir. Because let me tell you, they're waiting on it too.
And the moment that they say, well, sir, we're going to add this to your loan, I'd be like, fine.
Do it. 3% drop. Add anything you need to.
3 full points.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Man, that'd be nuts.
It'd be absolutely insane. We'll see. Jerome Powell, what his fate is. Can they get him out of there or get him to play ball? Just get him to do the right thing. Maybe if he did that, then we wouldn't have this conversation to begin with. The Dems continue to fall behind for the midterms. Can Donald Trump shake history? Can he do something that never happens? Next on Xtra 106.3.
Neil Bortz is only live on Xtra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Xtra 106.3 app.
compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV. Just $359 per month for 36 months with $49.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, this is Tom from The Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed. Honesty is the best policy, and we guarantee it. Finally, a pre-owned car and truck buying process that you can trust.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
We don't want to move on. We want to know what the freaking thing is about Jeffrey Epstein and who's involved and who was doing what with little girls, and let's out them and be done with it.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
It's July 17th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Hope you're feeling lucky today because it's National Lottery Day. Founded by the Massachusetts State Lottery in 2018, the day celebrates the many ways lotteries contribute to state and local programs around the country. Lotteries date back to the 15th century, with one of the oldest dating back to 1441 in Belgium. Early lotteries in the U.S. paid for everything from cannons used in the American Revolution to paving roads up and down the East Coast. And today, lotteries still contribute to the states and communities they serve. Also on this date, in 1861, the Congress authorized the use of paper money. Initially called demand notes, they would be replaced by legal tender notes in 1862, which it still goes by today. If it's your birthday today, you share it with actor David Hasselhoff. Born in 1952. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
It was first targeted as wasteful spending by Doge. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Federal funding Senate Republicans want to cancel.
On this vote, the bill is amended as passed.
And that final vote was after 2 o'clock this morning.
This shouldn't be a hard one. It's $9 billion. It's 1/10% of all federal spending. And it's a chance for us to claw back some of the waste, fraud, and abuse in a lot of these programs.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune. Most of that money was supposed to be foreign aid. There's also funding cut to public broadcasting as Republicans say PBS and NPR have a liberal bias. There were 2 GOP no votes. Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins concerned the broadcasting funding cuts hurt rural areas. All Democrats voted no. Senator Dick Durbin says the bill tarnishes America's image as a global leader. Now in the House, 3 cryptocurrency regulation bills cleared procedural hurdles after some Republicans spent days trying to make changes and keep the Fed out of crypto. GOP Congressman Andrew Clyde tells Fox Business.
The pushback was about ensuring that we had the best opportunity possible to ban central bank digital currency because, that sets up the surveillance state. We're not like China.
A federal prosecutor is out of a job.
Maureen Comey was fired from her job in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York.
She is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, who President Trump fired during his first term after Comey initiated the Russia investigation. Maureen Comey recently helped prosecute Sean Diddy Combs, who was convicted of a prostitution-related charge but acquitted of more serious charges. She was also involved in the criminal case against sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Now, President Trump's calling a simmering controversy about Epstein a hoax. Conservatives demanding more information are being conned by Democrats, and he doesn't want their support anymore as they challenge a Justice Department conclusion Epstein did kill himself in jail awaiting charges on sex trafficking crimes. They also believe Epstein had a client list. America's list.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
For hourly Fox News updates and the best in conservative news and talk, keep it on Extra 106.3 or download the Extra 106.3 app.
No, we're not a sports station, but the ESPYs were on last night. No, I didn't watch. I don't have a lot of interest in the ESPYs necessarily, but I do have a lot of interest in the host. Shane Gillis, we've talked about him so many times. He's so stinking funny. And
nobody does a better Trump impression in the country.
No doubt. He's the one that did the impression after we killed one of the terrorists, one of the main terrorists. Do you remember which one it was?
Baghdadi.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, Baghdadi. That's right. And he came out and he did the impression of Trump's press conference.
He died like a dog.
He did. He cried. I wouldn't have cried. So genius. The guy's so funny. So he hosted the ESPYs, and the people in the crowd, the woke crowd that they gathered there in Los Angeles at the Dolby Theater, they weren't sure how to respond. Most of them sat on their hands. Most of them looked down as they laughed. And there was a handful of jokes that just were beyond funny. And the Caitlin Clark joke was the one that hit the hardest. I think. Would you agree with that?
Of everything I've listened to, that's the one that cracks me up the most because it does have a little ode to Georgia.
It's a big year for the WNBA. I love Caitlin Clark. Kate, yeah, hell yeah. So, Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes. There you go. Lighten up a little. Okay. This is not serious.
You can laugh.
We'll see about this one. When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
Freaking genius, dude. It's absolute genius.
I just love that he's like, all right, how about this one? As the audience,
he's setting them up.
To tell you, it's what is weird about the sports media and the sports mob is that even the ones that aren't woke are afraid to laugh because they don't want to offend everybody and let everybody else know that I'm actually a regular fun human.
Yeah, I'm okay to laugh at things.
I mean, Shane Gillis was a guy who went on College Game Day, and it was before like one of the Notre Dame games, and he referred to Nick Saban, who had on his fedora, as Indiana Saban, Indiana Nick.
Right.
And as everyone on stage is looking like, oh my God, you just said, like, you made a joke at the coach. He's like, is this not a fun show? Are we not having fun here?
We have to sit back and tell me, and I won't laugh anymore. I'll stop.
Made an Indiana Jones joke at Nick Saban.
why would anybody be offended by that? Why would anybody not laugh at that? Why would anybody not? I guarantee Nick Saban thought it was fine.
Oh, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't? Oh, well, that's
No, he
surprising.
did not like that.
Okay, because I would have thought for sure. You know, I would have hoped better for Nick Saban.
I'll pull this up one.
Okay, because I never saw that. I would love to, and I'm usually watching College Game Day. So, but anyway, there's a couple others. This was a great one where he was pointing out one of the stars of the WNBA.
4-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
And
that's crazy. Clap for that.
And the lady who is his buddy's friend is dying laughing.
She's dying laughing in the crowd. She's like, I'm not a WNBA player.
Yeah, right. And nobody knew it. That is so freaking good.
Okay, so I did find where Shane Gillis went after
Nick
Saban.
Okay. All right.
And so when Jerry has it ready to go, we'll get a chance to play. But you'll hear the entire rest of the staff immediately. Like, you're not allowed to make fun of Nick Saban.
So disappointing.
And he's just sitting there like, what is this? Am I not a comedian?
Right. Why do you invite me here?
While we're waiting on the internet to do its thing and get that link to me.
Yeah, our internet's a little bit slow this morning.
It'll get there. There's a really good one about Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, and he kind of looks like a vampire. He does.
Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. Who booed up there, dude? Shut up.
It's an alien joke. Dude is genius. My man is the best comedian out there right now. There's nobody bigger than Shane Gillis.
Yeah, he's on fire right now.
Dude, I love him. I think it's great.
You want to talk about people that are like packing stadiums? Now, he's not at that level, but he's not everywhere when it comes to the Bud Light ads. The guy who got fired from Saturday Night Live, and they considered, well, he's way too edgy for Saturday Night Live. And then within 1 year, he's like, and now I'm hosting.
How despicable is it, though, that Saturday Night Live, the TV show that was started to push buttons, started to create that mocking of the man, the mocking of the machine. We're going to be countercultural. We're going to do everything exactly opposite. And we're going to poke fun at the things we can't poke fun of. John Belushi's rolling over in his grave.
Telling you, this was 2020.
No, I know.
This was 2021. This is what you were getting when the whole world went crazy and Shane Gillis, one of the funniest dudes doing his thing, SNL was like, you can't possibly do that here.
But how far have you fallen away from...
You got to that point.
Away from what you're supposed to be.
We got to a point in this country where... even saying things that were correct, even pointing out the obvious, you were not allowed to do. And so it filtered into comedy. I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about listening to a lot of comedians who went through that period. A lot of them, oddly enough, moved to the People's Republic of Austin. Like they got out of L.A. and said, I'm moving to Austin.
It's less communist.
In Texas, they're like, at least you can say and do what you want. It's free here.
Yeah.
And that really, Joe Rogan's, mothership, that's his comedy club, they refer to it as the Alamo. It's like, this is the last stand for free speech.
Yeah. Goodness, man. It's so sad that we had to go through that. But maybe, just maybe, the silver lining is that now we get to realize what we came from and we can't ever do that again.
No.
Ever. We can't ever do that again.
If you're going to go that crazy over comedy, then it was also filtering through everything else. And much of it was led by the administrations that were making it a point. You're not allowed to have a voice on things such as your medical freedom. And so this is what happened.
And that's what I mean by never let it happen again.
No, you can never have a point. Now, again, I give a lot of credit to Elon. Buying X and making it a free platform to where you can be as dumb or as smart as you want was genius in saving free speech in this country.
And maybe even the country itself.
If you don't have free speech, you don't have freedom.
You have nothing. And they're experiencing that in Europe right now.
Yes, because it starts with speech and then it goes over to thoughts.
Absolutely right. And there are people being arrested for praying inside their home in Europe today.
So you want to hear the Shane Gillis, Nick Saban joke? So this is before. This is Notre Dame. They're getting ready to host one of the playoff games.
Huge Notre Dame fan.
Shane Gillis, he's on stage. There's Nick Saban. He goes after him.
You called him a cheater earlier.
I was just joking around. I don't think the SEC paid players ever.
Period.
I'm joking. Are we not? Is this not a fun show?
No.
Serious show?
Serious football.
Like Alabama Jones is very serious.
That was the line. Alabama Jones is serious. He's got on the Indiana Jones fedora, and he calls him Alabama Jones.
That's so good, dude. I'm so disappointed that Saban was so pissed about it. That
Saban
makes
just
me
looks
sad.
at him like, did you just make fun of me on national television?
And yes, I did. And you should be able to make fun of yourself, dude. God, that's the worst. People that just have no sense of humor. People that cannot laugh at themselves.
Look at the look.
My gosh!
That is Nick Saban in the fedora,
and he's trying not to look pissed.
And he flat out calls him Alabama Jones.
You got Alabama Jones over there, dude. Saban just continues to look down at his computer, and then stares over at Gillis, like
really
with disdain. You can see it.
And by the way, Gillis has on a Notre Dame like Rudy era Irish jacket.
Yeah, like Letterman jacket. Absolutely genius. That dude. It makes me like him even more and like Saban just a little bit less. And I love Nick Saban.
Well, I'm glad. You know what? We start taking part in Save Our Parks over on in Rogan's podcast when it's he and 3 other comedians, and it is awesome.
I've seen the one episode. The one that...
Well, do more. I've given you that. I gave you Wrexham. Like, what else do I have to give you?
Time. I need time. If I had some time.
You talk about being able to laugh. Here's one that he went against the other side. This is just a hilarious line
this from the ESPYs?
Yeah.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right?
That's funny.
So good. So stinking good.
Gotta be able to laugh at it.
Absolutely.
I tell you, I brought it up. I think it was earlier this week. He was on a podcast, this being Shane Gillis, and he does the whole thing about being nicked, about how he has family members of his who have Down syndrome. Yeah. And he talked about how every single day somebody comes up to him to take a picture and asks him can you make yourself look like you have Down syndrome? He's like, every day somebody comes up to him and asks him, will you please do that?
Yeah, right.
What a beating that must be.
At just all times. God, dude, I love him. And that's the only reason to watch the ESPYs was him.
The only thing that would be as big of a beating is if every single day somebody came up to Tug and put like a phone in his face and said, hey, will you yell morning, y'all?
Yeah, right. That's right.
Every day. Morning, y'all.
No.
Oh, man. I got to do it again.
Once a morning. That's it. That's all you get.
I got to do this again.
You got to be up early if you want it. We ain't doing it. We're not doing it all day.
It really reminds me of Ricky Gervais a few years ago. What was that, the Golden Globes?
Yes, when he was calling everybody out. That monologue is in the same vein.
Yep. Even more confrontational.
Yeah,
very
much
much
so. Yeah, he did. Like, Gillis is still, it's still humorous. Like, he's still like, y'all are laughing with me, right? This is all good. Everybody's, Ricky Gervais.
Like, I'm just going to lay it right on you.
He was shooting at their head.
Yeah.
He was not trying to miss. He was not trying to nick them. He was trying to get them.
Oh, I mean, he even went through he went through the Epstein jokes. He went through everything. Where he's like, don't be mad at me. He's your friend.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right.
I was like, whoa.
Dude, he did not hold back. It was unbelievable. If you've never seen that, that's another one to go to Google. Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, started at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Start watching all of them at 10 a.m.
Yeah. That, and did you ever see that show he did? It was a really dark comedy called Afterlife. I discovered him on that show. I mean, I kind of knew who he was, watched that show, thought it was incredible, both seasons, and then went back and found his comedy after that. And he was the show dives into really sensitive topic because his wife has passed of cancer, and his whole thing is, I just want to die. I just want it to be over, and that's the whole show, and trying to regain that will to live. So you can see how it's, but it's just a dark comedy, and he does good work. Yeah. So at 10 o'clock, like Los says, 10 o'clock, you can go over there and find that monologue, maybe even find that show for that matter. Morning Extra and Xtra 106.3, Tug and Los until 10. The Democrats, Los, are in trouble. The midterms are out of their reach. You know, when they see this on CNN, they're kicking themselves. They're like, oh, God, we're going to lose again.
House seat ratings with the GOP president, like back in 2005 and, of course, 2017. More net pickup seat chances. Well, last time around, look at that. Democrats were ahead by 33 seats. How about in 2005? Democrats were ahead by 7 seats. What's going on right now? It's actually Republicans. Actually, Republicans with more net pickup chances.
Uh-oh. Boy, that sucks. If you're the Democrats, you're going, oh, God, it can't get worse. And it does.
This is the link to the 19% approval rating. This is what it is. And so right now you have the Democrats that are looking to replace their own leadership. They are looking for people that are more fanatical, that will fight. And I use that, finger quotes, the fight. They're going to, Jasmine Crockett, she'll fight for us. Jasmine Crockett can't win big elections. She can win in her portion of Dallas. She's not going to win any big elections. She'll get smoked in that state when it comes to running for senator. There's no chance for her. And so I think that ends up being the issue here, is that I think a lot of these people will end up sitting on their hands because they don't like the people that are currently representing them, and they don't like their leadership.
Which, if you're a Democrat right now and you're looking at, okay, who am I going to vote for? Are you guided by your hatred of Donald Trump, or are you guided by the principle, I want better for America, I want better for my family? And if you do want better for America and better for your family, you can't vote Democrat anyway. Like that's the confusion that I have. What do you think if you get AOC, because she's the ceremonial head of the Democrat Party along with Bernie Sanders? You think they're going to improve your life, your future?
I give Laura Trump and that organization a lot of credit for this.
Scott Presler too.
They were so proactive in making sure that the cheating games were not going to happen in the key swing states, that we had an election that was over with by 11:30. That's how good they were at making sure that no games were to be played. And so if you just look at the landscape as of now and you say, well, the Democrats can't play any games, well, then they can't win. That's really where we're at. And so those midterms, you're going to have to be just as proactive as you were first week in November 2024.
That's right. Because they're going to come up with new ways. They're going to work on new ways to cheat. They're going to work on new ways to manipulate. Just because we figured it out this time, don't mean they won't be changing up the game and trying it again next time, because they will.
And I believe that we have now recognized that you have to be so proactive with this stuff.
I hope so.
That when you're told, hey, we're going to stop counting votes, go home, we got a water main leak. No, we're not.
Never doing that.
We'll be right here.
That's right. We'll sit here with you. We want to make sure that the water main gets fixed. We want to make sure everything's just fine. We're not ever leaving. A friend of mine was down. He lives in Alpharetta. He was down at State Farm Arena and got sent home. And still to this day, he was like, I can't believe they were able to send us, every one of us left. We thought it was legitimate.
And then started counting votes again. So strange.
Wonder who all the votes went for. Because since there was never a work order to fix the water main leak. Anywho, when we come back on Extra 106.3, the unlikable Obama joking about something that has been in the news lately. You'll probably recognize it. Next on Extra 106.3.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Weather in the South is brutal on your home, and I know that. I'm born and raised here, lived here my whole life. I know the weather that just pounds on your house. Whether it's the pop-up showers or, it wasn't too long ago when we had like a month just solid rained every day. So the roof is taking a beating. If there's a little leak, it's going to become a big leak. If the roof needs to be replaced, that's something you can't play around with. And then move to the doors and windows, just the heat that they keep out of your home, unless they're not very energy efficient. And then that heat comes in, and the cool air that you're paying for, well, it seeps out. How do you correct it? Easy. You call Southern Exteriors. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. They can replace those painted closed windows, those single pane windows. And yes, your house will be more energy efficient. But on top of that, it's like a little facelift. Maybe some Botox. You're not replacing everything. You're not upgrading everything. Just hit the place that needs to be fixed the most.
Did you call me?
Yeah. Is that you?
This is Bo.
Hey, Bo.
Tox.
I just need you to get a little squirt there in the window. Just fix the window.
Oh, I'll go fix it.
I'm afraid. See, that's a thing. I'm afraid that Botox will get it all wrong. Southern Exteriors won't. They can replace those windows, replace the doors. They can fix the roof, fix the ceiling. They can do it all. Anything to the outside of your home. 10% off any job or 12 months. 0% financing at southernexteriors.co.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
Hi, this is Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine. Did you know that we have world-class entertainment right here in our own backyard?
Thanks, Tara. You're right. I am Emily Shipp, the director of the Dallas Theater and Civic Center, and we have something for the entire family. From hysterical comedians, incredible concerts, and engaging stage productions, our full show season is packed with must-see performances. And best of all at affordable prices. And we're more than just great shows. Our education department offers classes and workshops for ages 7 through adult. Along with the Dallas Theater, the Civic Center is available for private rentals like weddings, receptions, recitals, professional events, and so much more. Visit DallasTheaterGA.com as well as our social media to view our season schedule, register for classes, or book your next event today.
Wow, Emily, affordable entertainment, education, and celebrations. Check it out, friends. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Calling all contractors. This is Devin Stovall, Stovall & Company, and we're here for you. We're a third-generation, family-owned and operated company for 75 years and just opened our 11th location in Canton on 9500 Union Hill Road. We're proud to provide your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs. How do you envision your dream outdoor space for you or your customers? We're here to fulfill them all. We all take pride in special requests and shipping right to your job site. Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallINC.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 17th. Marietta City Schools approved the installation of vape detection systems in bathrooms at Marietta Middle and High Schools before class begins this fall. The Halo Smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and text school officials when set off. Installation of the systems is expected to cost $60,000. The school system reported over 50 student incidents with vape products last year. A former Cobb County police officer drowned while trying to rescue a family off the coast of South Carolina. 38-year-old Chase Childers of Dallas had received a Lifetime Achievement Award for saving lives during his police career. His family posted online that he was a devoted husband and father who displayed courage and selflessness during his life. A GoFundMe account has been posted to raise money for the family. And President Trump says he's convinced Atlanta's favorite soda to change its ingredients. President Trump posted on social media Wednesday that Coca-Cola agreed to use real cane sugar instead of high-fructose corn syrup for American products. No official word from Coca-Cola yet. Today's weather partly cloudy, hot and humid with temperatures reaching the mid-90s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
7 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com. Los and I just giggling during the headlines about Ricky Gervais and
Liam Neeson.
Liam decided in the show he wanted to be a stand-up comedian or an improv comedian. And it goes horribly wrong.
It is still one of those 4-minute pieces of video where you will recognize just how talented Liam Neeson is.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, he's playing Frank Drebin in Naked Gun. Like, they're redoing that.
Of course.
So he's now going to play that character.
Yeah. Who was it also? Christopher Walken, who was always a serious actor.
Yeah.
And then decided, hey, I'm going to give comedy a try. And I think he's more beloved because of the comedy stuff than even the serious stuff.
It's 90 seconds worth, but his cameo in Pulp Fiction, where he talks about the watch, I can't keep a straight face during that entire monologue that he goes on.
Dude, so good, absolutely. So
he gave me the watch.
Yeah,
he died of dysentery.
So good, so good. And I mean, the one that everybody knows is obviously the Saturday Night Live skit, More Cowbell.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that you don't even have to really know who Christopher Walken is, but you know that skit because it's so funny.
As funny as Will Ferrell is in that bit, Christopher Walken just keeps making it work because of his got a prescription.
Yeah.
It's for more cowbell.
Only thing's the cure is more cowbell.
So good in Wedding Crashers too.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, when
such subtle, funny humor for him.
Yeah. I think it's awesome when people are able to be that diverse, be able to be that talented and do all kinds of characters, all kinds of roles. And Liam Neeson, no exception.
You mean when he can take something that like that kind of illness and make it really funny?
Yes.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
I got it from an African prostitute. You're like, what?
What? We're doing funny comedy here. We're doing funny jokes.
Maybe that and famine are not that funny.
Yeah, or AIDS or whatever it is.
It tells them.
Yeah. What is that so people can go see it again too?
Life's Short. Life's Too Short.
There you go. Watch that.
Just go to YouTube and look up Liam Neeson and Ricky Gervais and watch the 4 minutes and your day will be made.
After 10 o'clock.
After 10 o'clock.
Here's the time to do that. 7 o'clock hour brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call, VanSantLaw.com. Michelle Obama, she's an interesting cat. She's got this podcast that nobody listens to. And not because people weren't interested. It's because when they went there was nothing to hear. There was no content. It was two people, her and her brother, just going back and forth and saying nothing.
I think this is the importance of what has happened now in this country, where our politicians, when they look to be president of the United States or some very high office, we're going to look for long form interviews because you can't really hide who you are during that time period.
That's right.
There's a reason why Kamala Harris made it a point. Well, I'll do Joe Rogan. I'm doing 35, 40 minutes. He's like, that's not what we do here. It's like, you're 3 hours.
If we're going to do it. Yeah.
That's what the show is. And so I think what we've done when it comes to Michelle Obama, I think we drastically overrated how likable she is and how much clout she really has. Because as soon as the veneer comes off, she's not interesting and she's not likable.
At all.
At all. And so by the time that has now occurred on her podcast, and everyone has been saying the same thing, your podcast is struggling. What about having that ex-president on? Like, where is that? Well, that finally happened yesterday.
I am low. Look at you.
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh, yeah, really, huh?
That's so
the
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
Send me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Finally, Barack Obama showed up on her podcast.
And it felt awkward. And it
super awkward.
Forced.
Yes. And it just looks weird as they're making jokes. You know, oh, if we're not together, everyone thinks that we're divorced. I mean, these people, even at the Jimmy Carter funeral, they weren't together.
Yeah. She didn't show up.
No.
She didn't show up.
But I think that this is a woman that if you leave her to her own devices, I don't think that she can wield any political clout.
Can I tell you what stood out as phony to me? And this is going to seem minute. Most people won't even notice it. Most people won't take it into consideration. This woman's from Chicago, and she hit him. Look at there, y'all.
Oh yeah.
She don't say y'all. That was the most forced. That was the most unauthentic I've ever heard. And I know it doesn't mean much to anybody else,
but it grabbed you.
Grabs me.
Dalton, Georgia came through and said,
That's because I know what Cousin Curtis sounds like. I know what my mama sounds like. I know what all my family sounds like when they say y'all. That's a natural thing for us to say because that's part of our vernacular. It's not hers.
It must be strange for the Obamas just about 8 years ago. I mean, they were sitting on a point where as Barack Obama left office, it was groups like Netflix saying how many millions of dollars to program. You know, what kind of content can you give us? Now they've basically faded to a point where her podcast, again, relatively speaking, it's not doing well. Nobody cares. And no one's looking to be like, what is Barack Obama going to say? Remember, Barack Obama sat on a stage and told you all the reasons to not vote for Donald Trump. And the dude won the popular vote and won all 7 swing states.
Ain't nobody listening to you.
No one's listening to you.
It's my husband, y'all.
Dude, that just goes up my spine. It really does. Nobody's paying attention to Barack Obama. And that's why he's out there saying, we've got to be less nice to people that disagree with us. Because that's what he said day before yesterday. That was his whole, how do we get back in power? How do we recapture what we used to have?
I think a lot of this ends up just being the leadership problem they have.
Sure it is.
Who is the next superstar? Who is the next person?
The crazy thing about them, though, he was the superstar, but there was no substance behind it. It was just that use the word veneer, and I think that's what it is with him, because the ideas that he has are not good ones. The policies that he implemented were never good. He had that veneer, so people accepted it, people liked it, and at that point, people didn't want to go against it because he was the first black president.
Well, he was very likable, even when he would actually show you his teeth, and you'd go, that's not very likable. Like, why? Hold on, so you have a professor friend who had an issue and you referred to the cops as acting stupidly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, every now and then you would see him and see his teeth, but generally he was likable, but his policies were not. His policies were always lowly rated.
Yeah, and then throw on top of that, because faith matters to me, he tried to tell me he goes to church. And I don't know if he does or not, but I've never been to a church where the pastor says GT America.
Well, remember,
Ever.
He sat there for 20 years, but he never paid any attention.
Never knew. Well, seriously, how committed are you to your faith if you've been there for 20 years and never noticed?
You never absorbed what ended up being essentially about black nationalism.
Yeah, from Jeremiah Wright. There's just...
they just don't have the influence anymore.
But because they're phony and people know it. Now their policies weren't good, and now that the veneer is gone, everybody recognizes how phony they are.
Now, if you were to tell me that on the next episode of the Michelle Obama podcast,
they are getting divorced.
Okay, that would probably be the next one.
Okay.
But you tell me about that dude who died in your pond.
Ooh, ain't nobody bringing it up.
Right.
Ain't nobody bringing that up. But let me tell you, if you want to get some listeners, talk about it.
You want in the next episode, you tell me why Joan Rivers was wrong saying that you're a man.
Or that we've already had the first gay president. Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Talk about those letters down at Emory University.
Yeah, when Barack Obama, as a college student, wrote to his girlfriend and said he's attracted to men.
That's fantasies about men.
Fantasies about men. There's a lot we found out about these people.
And so, if you want to get listenership, viewership talk about the things that people actually concerned about, actually, I don't know, care about's the right word, but are interested in. How about that?
If Michelle Obama was to, during her podcast, stand up and say, we didn't go to the moon.
That would get some attention.
And here's my dong. I'd go...
Freaking lassoing people.
How many more do I have to download? Let's do this.
I want to listen. Dude, it's terrible that they're only 30 minutes. I wish they were 3 hours.
I'm like, preach, sister.
Yeah, that's
Let's do this.
Talk about something that matters. Talk about something that's funny. Okay. That's never happening.
I'm playing into the joke. But no, there's a reason why these aren't doing well.
But she would be smart to play in the joke. Well, and that's what they tried to do there.
It took her forever for her to have her husband on. Her husband is a former president. Do you realize how hard it is to get a former president to join a podcast?
It shouldn't be that hard if you're married to him.
You would think.
But it took forever. Kristi Noem, I think she's onto something here. And she makes so much sense when she says, immigrate the right way. She had basically said, here's the thing that's got to happen. You've got to get out. You got to self-deport. And I think that's what the administration's trying to do. They're trying to get people to self-deport. And the reason I think that is because, yes, they're going after the people that are the most dangerous. They're going after the people that are causing the most issue. But there are people getting swept up in that. And it's just symptomatic. You can't help that. It's going to happen.
Well, in Florida, you have the largest amount of people that are self-deporting because here are your choices as they're putting it forth to you. And I believe this is going to be a nationwide policy, and I believe this is part of what Kristi Noem is also bringing up. Tug, if you were here illegally, you would think if I apprehended you, in your mind you're going, well, they're going to send me home tomorrow. No, they're not.
They're going to put you in jail.
And then they're going to have you wait until you get a chance to be.
That's right.
And how long will you be sitting there detained, whereas you can just go home tomorrow on your own?
Using the Democrats' strategy against them.
Yes.
Because they knew it would take forever to go through the process of getting people deported through the court systems with all the
Listen, you'll have your day in court in 6 months.
Or 6 years even sometimes.
You're going to sit there.
And now you're going to sit in jail because of it.
Because there is nothing illegal about it.
That's right. And so if you were to self-deport, then we'll pay for you to go home. We're physically going to pay for the airfare. We're going to give you $1,000 when you get there.
And if you want to apply to come back,
then you can.
And there's no restrictions on how. We're not going to tell you, hey, there's a 15-year, 20-year moratorium where you can't come back.
And so this is them using the Democrats' own tactics against them, which is why I think it's so smart that Kristi Noem says, just do it the right way. And you don't have to go through all this chaos. That's why they flipped over the CBP One app and turned it into CBP Home app. There's a reason that they are okay with people getting caught up in those ICE raids because they want it to be a mental thing. They want people thinking about it. They want them to decide to self-deport.
This is hard on the front end. I acknowledge that.
Absolutely it is.
It's the hard business that this administration is doing because of what Joe Biden and that administration did. So you're doing the hard work now. Eventually, we are going to get to the point where hopefully after we've deported, depending on how many alligator Alcatrazes we build, let's say we deport 10 million, which is a crazy number. Let's just say we deport 10 million people, and suddenly everything's pretty good. At a certain point, we are going to have the discussion, how do we make it easier to get here? How do we make it easier to become an American citizen? Because there's quite a number of people who have been sitting there waiting for a decade, who've passed everything they need to, and they're like, I just want to be an American citizen. Okay, this is how difficult it is to do. And there are people that have been waiting for nearly a decade to come here. That's the next portion of this. But the problem is they get put on the back burner to immigrate the right way until we get rid of the people that immigrated the wrong way.
That's right. And I got to tell you, man, I don't want to make it super easy. I want it to be challenging.
No, it should be.
I want it to be a process that you have to be committed to going through.
But we also have, and I would put it this way, people that could actually bring something to our society that could contribute. And that's not just, hey, you can come here and you can work in industries that, maybe we're having staffing issues. Mm-hmm. there are people that could help in our medical field. There are people as AI grows that could come and help. There's a lot of people that could bring their talents here, and we even make that difficult. And so that's the part where I'm looking at it saying, I'm not looking to make it a rubber stamp. Come on in, no problem here. Come on, but we should have a process that makes more sense for talented people to get here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but I still want it to be I want it to be rigorous. It has to.
Well, the vetting process needs to be there.
Well, that's the most important part of it.
We had 10 million, 15 million people, however so many millions that came across that border without any vetting when you had the vegetable in chief in charge.
It's like companies when they hire someone. What's the first place they go? Social media. And I'm not saying that that's right because I don't know what the rule is.
Everybody goes and checks your social media.
Everybody does it, and we don't even do it as a country. Makes no sense. That's the first place to start because that usually tells you where people stand. When we continue on Extra 106.3, how do you maintain operational security if your bitter enemy runs your internal network? Because that's what's happening at the Pentagon. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Tom. You're like, who is Tom? Well, Tom is the honest car guy. Tom is the person who has created his own business that allows you to save money on every single transaction that you make when it comes to landing that next automobile. What do? Well, you just give Tom a call, or you can go to his website, honestcarguy.com, honestcarguy.com, or 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1. Tom is going to answer that call or a member of his team, and what they're going to say is, so what's the make and model? And that's it. That's how it all starts. You let them know what vehicle you're interested in. At that point, they start scouring their network. They have access to places all around the country to find that vehicle for you. And they're then going to show you, here's the vehicle, here's the features, here's what it looks like, here's all the information, and here's what it's going to cost in order for us to buy that vehicle and get it here. What you're going to see as you get part of this process is that you're going to save thousands of dollars because all of the games that traditional dealerships do in order to tack on additional fees. You don't have to worry about that. And once you select that vehicle and you decide I'm going to purchase that one, Tom is just going to charge you the honest car guy fee. That's his finder's fee. That's what he's working for. And that's it. That's all. You'll be able to do the math. You can shop around and you'll see you're saving thousands using Tom, the honest car guy. Go to honestcarguy.com or just dial him up. 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 17th. From the NFL, the Washington Commanders have signed future Pro Football Hall of Famer pass rusher Von Miller to a one-year deal. The veteran has accumulated 129.5 sacks during his career. The Atlanta Braves, they'll be back in action tomorrow night as the All-Star break will come to an end. The New York Yankees will be in town for a weekend series at Truist Park. The Braves, currently 42-53 on the season. That's 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A lost wedding band found at a Christmas tree farm in Virginia makes today's Dean's List. Darren Gilraith and his wife Samantha purchased Joe's Christmas tree farm in 2018, and when they took over, they kept everything, including notes people had written over the years if they lost something on their property. Back in 2010, Wayne Corprew was picking out a tree for his family, and after cutting one down, he lost his wedding band. He came back the next day with a metal detector but couldn't locate his cherished ring. He left a note with management, and the years went by. But one day when Samantha and Darren were planting corn, they saw a glimmer, and the ring popped out of the soil. They then went through the stack of their notes they had kept, and lo and behold, Wayne's information was still there. Thankfully, they got in touch, and Wayne was thrilled. He says it goes to show you that there are still good people out there. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Promises made, promises kept. The president is making the economy great again. He's securing the border for America's safety, and the mainstream media still wants to tear him down.
The media wants Donald Trump to fail. That's their goal. That's how they'll report his progress.
But we know the truth, and we give you the perspective that other stations won't. Atlanta's only conservative voice is Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra. We have so many ladies that listen to the show, and I'm so appreciative of them, especially when they call in and want to be a part of the conversation, like Diane in Smyrna at 404-741-1230. Diane, what's on your mind?
Hey guys, how are you?
Well, thank you.
Outstanding.
Good. So you guys are talking about, everyone wanting to come to America. Everybody wants to come to America. Well, several years ago, I wanted to move to Mexico, to a wonderful place. Several friends and we looked into it. Do you have any idea what it costs to move to Mexico, or what it takes to get residency in Mexico?
They make it very restrictive from what I understand.
It's very expensive.
Yes.
So you have to prove, this was several years ago, so I'm sure it's much more now. You had to prove that you made $50,000 a year and that you had more than $100,000 in a savings account.
Wow.
You can't just pick up and move to Mexico. And think about, that's Mexico. Can you imagine Italy? France, any of these other countries? I really wish people would do stories about what it takes to move somewhere else.
Well, and
you can't pick up and go.
You talk about even like Japan. That's one of them that we've documented quite a few times before. Japan makes it a point. They're for the Japanese.
You can't even do it. They won't even give you citizenship.
If you would like to do business in Japan, you're welcome to do that. I still remember, Diane, and thank you for the call, when my wife was back when she was speaking quite a bit. She was, would speak at a whole lot of different conferences. One of the times when she was sent to Brazil, she actually had to apply for a work visa, a temporary work visa in Brazil, so that she could go to a conference and speak there. They were that restrictive on travel into their country that you had to apply to show up for 24, 48 hours to speak and then leave.
Yeah. They understand what it means to protect their sovereignty of their nation. You're seeing it all over Europe, too, to Diane's point. There are vigilante gangs right now operating in Spain because of all the violence that they're experiencing from immigration that is coming in. And Spain is a Marxist-run country, and they've just kicked open the borders and the doors for everybody. Obviously much less than the United States has experienced, but enough to cause... There was a story of a man being beaten by a teenage gang, kids from Morocco, so North Africa. They jump across the Straits of Gibraltar and land in Spain, and they didn't even rob the man. They just beat him. And these Spanish vigilante gangs are going, dude, we're done with this. We're tired of this. And I don't want to see that happen in the United States. I think ICE can handle this for us. but it just shows you the lengths that people are going to protect the sovereignty of their country because their government won't.
I think Diane and I, like, she would be somebody we'd talk about, like, hey, let's go to Waffle House and talk about Mexico.
Heck yeah, man. I'll tell you another thing.
Over hash browns, I'd be like, why did y'all thought about moving to Mexico? Like, we're in Mexico.
Yeah, well, what was the reasoning behind it?
It's some wild story about how they found, like, just the right town, the right little oceanside villa. And we're like, we're going to do this. And then he went, wait a minute.
Yeah, man. I've only been to Mexico one time, I think. And it was for spring break. And I told everybody in our group, it was for my son's senior trip.
Took your shirt off and wove it around your head like a helicopter?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I'm just guessing. I know how you get down.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get those rum drinks. I mean, wow. No, well, I told him, I was like, we shouldn't go. I don't feel good about this. I don't feel comfortable with this. And as we flew down, I didn't feel comfortable. As I got on the shuttle bus for the 45-minute ride to the resort, I didn't feel comfortable. It was just an uneasy feeling that I had the whole time. And while we were there, we never left the resort, which is smart. 5 bodies washed up on the shore within 5 miles of the resort that we were in. 5. And we were there for 3 days. That's why I wasn't comfortable going to Mexico. Back to your point about having the conversation with Diane in Smyrna. What in the world possessed you to want to move to Mexico?
So the funny part about that story is the other end of it, where Tug spent at least a good month on this radio show, every single break that we got to, going, I don't know about this Mexico trip. And then we would talk about it. And, the resolution we came to was just as long as you don't leave the resort, you'll be fine. Bodies.
Yeah. 5.
Washed up.
5. Not 1. 1 would be bad enough. 5.
5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 5. That's right. When the 5th one washed up, I was like, damn, we got to go. I'm glad we're leaving tomorrow.
And I tried to talk you down. I was like, it'll be totally fine, dude. In fact, the cartels are known for, all right, listen, the tourist areas, the resort areas, don't mess with them. And in recent years, even that has now turned into, no, there'll be gunfire.
Yeah, it will. And that's the thing. Luckily, we never heard gunfire, but when 5 bodies wash up to the shore and it's on the news and people are talking about it, and it even made, the news here in the United States, it was crazy. It was just so uneasy. So I would love to know where it was exactly that Diane was going to move. So if you get a chance to call back, maybe let Jeray know, because I need to know the safe place in Mexico, because I thought it was Cancun, and I'm not so sure it is. I'm sure they have a safe place down there anymore. But anyway, hey, quickly, and we only have a second on this, but I think it's worth talking about. Pete Hegseth has worked so hard to focus our military on being a fighting force and not the personality cults that exist. But the problem is Microsoft has been hired to maintain all of our computer operational systems in the Pentagon, and they partner with and contract Chinese engineers to run the network.
That's not an issue.
What in the hell are we doing? And you wonder why those new stealth fighters that the Chinese are flying over the skies of their country right now look just like the new stealth fighters of ours. Their new aircraft carrier looks exactly like the Navy's newest aircraft carrier, because they're taking every bit of intellectual property because they're tasked to. The CCP makes it a requirement for you as a citizen. When Mama CCP comes calling, you do exactly what you're told to do, or we'll torture your family.
I think we underestimate how authoritarian they are on that.
Absolutely right, dude.
That when your obligation is that when you decide that you're going to, let's say, attend an American university, what responsibility you still have to the party in the homeland.
And it is written into their law. You cannot escape it. You cannot get around it. You cannot say no. The communists do not accept no as an answer. They're like, oh, we'll figure out a way to pressure you in. Whatever you hold precious, we will take that and destroy it until you do exactly what we tell you to do. This is the most foolish thing that I've seen yet, and that's something that Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump have to fix. Yesterday is when they needed to fix it. I hope they will. When I read that, I was blown away. I couldn't believe what I was reading. And as everything that Pete Hegseth has done correctly in the military to refocus it on the task in hand, that is a giant red flag that even people that don't keep up with military and what the Pentagon does can even recognize that. When we continue on Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10, Trump continues to make history, says a man who's made some history on his own. Next on Extra 106.3.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, every once in a while I have to do this. It's a completely futile exercise. A little kerfuffle on The View the other day. Anna Navarro, Hispanic, said that Trump's deportation policies was a reign of terror. Somebody objected to that. She said, "Oh, you're just a white male. Oh, that's racist." And here we go. The racist word again. So every once in a while, I try to explain to people the difference between the words prejudice, bigotry, and racist. And I might as well be whispering in a tornado. Prejudiced. You prejudge somebody. If they smell, you make a judgment that maybe they don't bathe that often. If they're wearing all black and a mask, and a hoodie, and carrying a gun, running into a jewelry store, prejudice, prejudge. Maybe they're going to rob the place. Okay, the second one, bigotry. Well, that's just a perhaps unreasonable hatred or dislike for somebody or for a particular idea. The word bigot has nothing to do with race. It's all about an unreasonable dislike for somebody. But now, let's deal with racism. Of course, the current definition is anytime anybody says anything negative in any way about somebody that's black, they're a racist. Sorry, that's not the definition. The real historic definition is a belief in the genetic inferiority of one race compared to the next. I am genetically superior to you. Well, that would make me a racist. Okay, this is short and sweet, folks, but we do have racial problems in this country, and we are not going to get close to solving them until we accurately identify them. Okay, I repeated this sermon again, maybe again in another couple of months. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Need a great mover? Atlanta Peach Movers. There's no tree in our name. A full-service moving company referred by realtors. Local, long distance, storage, and packing. Moving soon? Call Atlanta Peach Movers. 770-441-3232. That's 770-441-3232. Or book online at atlantapeachmovers.com. Atlanta Peach Movers, proud partners of the Atlanta Realtors Association and official mover of the Atlanta Braves.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Dogs can hear 4 times farther than humans can, which makes it even more impressive how they manage to ignore you so effortlessly.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
It goes back to the House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. An amended bill the Senate passed after 2 o'clock this morning, canceling more than $9 billion in federal funding already approved, targeted as wasteful by DOJ. Majority Leader John Thune tells Fox.
0.1% of all federal spending, but it's a step in the right direction.
This is money for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and also USAID. This bill was about $9.4 billion in cuts, but restored money for the global AIDS program known as PEPFAR.
Fox's Chad Berg with the Capitol. 2 Republicans, Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, joined Democrats voting no, concerned the cuts to NPR and PBS could harm rural areas. Late last night in the House, Republicans advanced 3 cryptocurrency regulation bills toward final passage maybe today. Also in the House, more Democrats are backing the controversial nominee to be New York City Mayor, Zoran Mamdani, who met with Democrats in Washington yesterday, including Congressman Ro Khanna, who just told Fox,
I will endorse him. Look, he's a very charismatic, relatable person, and he spent a lot of time talking about the cost of living in New York, in this country, and how we address it.
Some Democrats have not backed Mamdani and his progressive agenda and allegations he's anti-Semitic. President Trump calls Mamdani a communist. There are flood watches and warnings in southern Louisiana as a storm that could become a tropical depression soaks the region with a foot of rain forecast in some areas. Lightning struck an archery range in New Jersey, killing a man, injuring more than a dozen others.
Witnesses started performing CPR on the man before first responders arrived, their efforts to no avail. The other victims are all expected to recover.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. A singer who made history topping the charts has died. Connie Francis had a #1 hit with that song in 1960, becoming the first woman to top the Billboard Hot 100. Connie Francis was 87. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Align your business with other like-minded conservatives by advertising on Xtra 1063. Email sales at xtra1063.com.
Tug and Los until 10 had a great conversation during the Fox News update with one of our sales guys who is just one of the greatest guys of all time. And I'll leave out who it is. It's just he may not want me to share the story.
Was it Jeff?
Jeff, it's Jeff, yes.
Was it Jim?
Yes, it was Jim.
Alan.
Yep, Alan.
Okay.
Yep. Any or all of them. One of our favorite sales guys out there. He says, as I'm coming through, he's like, Tug, Ed and I are having a conversation.
Oh, you just revealed Ed's identity.
Yeah. Well, Ed didn't ask the question, so I'm not sure if the other wants me to share. But I thought it was worthy of bringing it there because I think it's a question that probably people think about relatively often, especially knowing that we're $37 trillion in debt. And this person says, hey, what backs the U.S. dollar? And I was like, nothing. He was like, well, what do you mean nothing? I was like, nothing. Nothing backs the U.S. dollar. Zero, nothing. The good faith of the federal government backs the U.S. dollar. And he was like, you're telling me since we left the gold standard, nothing backs the U.S. dollar. And I said, you've got it exactly right.
The funny part is you walked in and you said the same scenario to me, and the first word out of my mouth was, nothing.
Nothing. It's exactly right.
It's the faith that the American government will pay you back.
Yep. And the fact that our stock markets and the markets are regulated and people are expected to uphold what they're
we are generally a safe investment.
Yes, that's it. That is simply it. Boiled down, that is it. The United States is the safest and most effective market that you can do.
Standard & Poor's will look at us and say they are generally a safe investment.
And that's the reason people still buy our debt to this day. They're still buying our debt. I would like for them to have less of it to buy. I mean, if I'm getting my way about it, Thomas Massey would agree with that. Rand Paul would agree with that. So just an interesting conversation to have in the hallway. Not one that you expect.
With Danny.
Yeah, yes.
Or Dave.
Or Joe.
Or Joe.
Jim, Alan, whomever. It was Danny, but now you already said it. I might as well say it too. I don't think he'll care, but just making sure. Because you never know. You just never know how people feel about their conversation being taken to the air.
I hope he goes prison rules on you.
He just cuts me with a shank.
You just step out of the studio and suddenly he's like, ha!
I'm walking around with a pin hanging out of my neck.
But like he gives it to you in like a non horrible place where like he gets you like in a love handle where you'll survive, but he just wants to send a message.
Don't you ever. Huzzah! Don't you ever. If you ever take my name to there again or my story,
I'm gonna get your other love handle.
Seriously. And then if you do it a third time, it's in the neck.
Yeah, it's like listen, I'm not gonna put it in your gut, but I am gonna put it in an area where you're gonna feel it.
I want you to feel it. I want you to survive. That way not to mess with me again. Donald Trump making history. This is the thing that Los and I have discussed a million times, the yeah-butters. They're the ones that are like, Donald Trump has, got the economy burning like an inferno. Yeah, but they always bring in the one thing that they're upset about, whatever that thing is. And I don't know why they do it. Why can't you be happy with Donald Trump delivering exactly what he said he would do when it comes to the border, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to illegal immigration? He has done everything he's laid out that matters anyway. And I'm not the only one to notice, and I'm glad that a guy that I have a lot of respect for that is from the state of Georgia feels the exact same way. And of course, that is Newt Gingrich. I want you to hear what Newt had to say about Donald Trump. It'll make you smile.
President Trump certainly has matched and may well have surpassed Franklin Roosevelt's first 6 months in office. It's been at least 30% more than I thought was possible when he won back in November. So it's a remarkable run. Second, the Democrats, I think, have trapped into two things. One is they hate Trump so much that they're incoherent and they run in circles and do stupid things. And then second, they have moved even further to the left. I mean, Mandami, as a Uganda-born Indian American who is a genuine Marxist, who says stupid things like he doesn't like billionaires. Well, who's he going to tax to get the money for all of his free goodies? Because the billionaires are all going to leave.
I love the fact he said he's the most consequential president since FDR. And, of course, FDR was bringing us out of the Great Depression. So he did all kinds of things. We agree with what he did or not. It was consequential what he was doing and how it affected America. So he said that. And then he said, and I don't know where he pulls the 30% from, but he said he's done 30% more than I ever thought was even possible for a president to do in 6 months.
Why I appreciate Newt Gingrich is that he has a perspective of history. And, we can always go back to FDR and, the Great New Deal, and here's what we're going to, arrange for the country and some of these projects. And honestly, you could always say, and I think it's legitimate, war is what got us out of the Great Depression because it turned on American industry again.
That's right.
Well, Donald Trump is largely looking to do that.
That's exactly right.
It's how do you kickstart American industry?
Reindustrialize America.
Right, because once we're making stuff again, that's when we have that very high standard of living. That baby boomer generation was built off of those soldiers who came home and had plenty of places to work. And yeah, we downsized our military economy, but this was a time when Detroit turned into what it turned into, when our industrial complex really were booming. And the more we've gotten away from that, the more we've seen our standard of living, especially our middle class standard of living. The people that had, here's the house, here's the 4 kids, and yet they're able to afford everything. That's not realistic right now.
That's not realistic at all for anybody that probably you listening to the show that lives in that middle class, because I think that's where most of us, at least, I know for, the people on this show, mainly the people that work with us.
Except Diane. San Miguel, Diane.
That's right. Were you able to find what it costs to live down there?
I'm going to.
Yeah, we're going to Zillow that
look into this.
Yeah, Diane, who called in the last segment of the last hour to talk about migration and how hard it was. She was going to move to San Miguel in Mexico because so many expats have moved there. I guess the cost of living is really, really good, and it was nearly impossible to get it done. to legally migrate to Mexico. That's what she brought up.
That's right. That's why I'm making that joke, and I'm telling you, we're going to get there and be like, I am one of you.
Let me just fit right in.
But yeah, no, that middle class is the engine of America, but also that is when America has gotten into trouble. Largely, we can talk about $37 trillion in debt. That's trouble. It's always the middle class who pays for it because it's the largest group of people that have money to do so.
When you're incredibly wealthy, you have the ability to hire the best lawyers, the best accountants. You can sock money away here, there. You can make investments. There are ways to keep your money from being taxed. And good for you, man. I wish I could do the same thing. For the people that are in the lower class, they don't have the money anyway. They're being supported by the middle class. So where does the pain point come from? It's always the middle class. Always, always, always. And Newt understands that. You and I understand that. But when he talks about the Democrats, he's exactly right. They continue to fall into that Marxist decay. And that's what they are. These are people that have these grandiose ideas that socialism actually works. They have these ideas of, hey, I'm going to be the one to lead. I'm going to be the new Che Guevara.
Van Jones is the only one I've heard, to a lesser extent Bill Maher, but Van Jones, who says we're doing ourselves a disservice by calling Donald Trump stupid. It's like, look at what he's done. He has monopolized basically government for himself. He's got the House, he's got the Senate, obviously he's the president, and he's got an entire media arm that can't wait to see what he does next. Even the people that can't stand him,
hate him.
This is what they're doing. This guy has done this off of his own brains. And so I think Newt Gingrich has a really good point. If your response to everything is that's idiotic, that's dumb, then you're never going to glom onto the policies and back the stuff that can get you elected, and then you can actually counter him with. How long have we been saying this? Like, if you don't start going along with some of this stuff, then you paint yourself into a corner where all you come across is just being childish.
Yeah. The Democrats recognized how good no tax on tips was, so they glommed onto it. Now, they claimed it as theirs, which obviously was dumb because Donald Trump makes the announcement, that's what we're doing, and then all of a sudden, during
Kamala Harris, you aren't going to believe this,
I got this grand idea. I think it's going to be perfect. Oh, wait, Trump announced that 2 days ago. So the idea is there. The possibility and the thought process is there. They just can't implement it for whatever reason. And then you have them going against what most Americans believe, that socialism works, because we know it doesn't. We've seen it all over the world. Capitalism works. Capitalism has lifted more people out of poverty than any other mechanism of government ever. Ever. And that's not going to change anytime soon. Look at what Argentina has done. And Javier Milei down there, turning that country around in like 8 months to a year. And all they've done is implement capitalist ideas. And that country is like a rocket ship. Donald Trump's trying to do the same thing here. Fuel the ideas of capitalism, the policies of capitalism, to set America off like a rocket ship. And I hope he's able to get it done. I mean, look, in the first 6 months, he's done extraordinary work.
This has been wild.
It has. And it's been so much fun to see. And it's been fun to make fun of the left. We're not calling them stupid because we know they're not. But it is fun to make fun of them. When they go the exact place, they hate them so much, they won't take an idea that they can take it, at least use in their platform and benefit themselves. Nope, they run the other way to people like Mom Donnie.
This is why I'm going to have such a monster show with you on MSNBC. It'll be like the Los Show featuring Tug.
Yeah.
And you'll be kind of like, my Andy. He'll just sit over there on the couch, and every now and then you just kind of bust out a joke. And you'll make something funny happen, or you'll bring up some point, and we'll be like, man, this Tug guy is really good. But we'll tell people how it is. And part of that is, if you want to make a good suggestion to Democrats, like, y'all have to revamp your entire strategy. You have to take the things that are popular and you have to make them your own or alter them to be your own. For instance, I brought it up earlier this week. No tax on tips. That's a pretty popular notion. you should be advocating for that being permanent as part of the tax code. Right now, it's through 2028. You should be talking about a 10-year horizon or an indefinite horizon.
That's indefinite.
That's what you should be campaigning on. But because it's a Donald Trump idea, you avoid it entirely. That's silly. Like that mentally, it's not setting yourself up for victory. So instead, what you're left to do is to play in the fringes. It's how you get a Mamdani.
I love the fact that the Democrats say Donald Trump is stupid, that he's a buffoon. I love the fact that they continue to do what they do because that's better for us. It's better for America. It's better for the country. I'm glad they're doing it. I hope they continue. Tom Homan, he's laid out that hiring illegals, this is not out of the goodness of your own heart.
I love that Tom Homan, he was doing basically doing a conference. He's in Florida, and Tom Homan is the one guy within ICE who's done every job from top to bottom. The guy started by driving the border. He then, kind of rose through the ranks, and he's worked for a multitude of administrations. He's been on the Democrat and the Republican side. If you ask a man to secure the border, he knows how to do it. He's been through all of it. So when he tells you something about illegal immigration and what it means and what it does, he has more experience, in my opinion, than anyone else in the federal government. So take a listen. This is Tom Homan explaining to you about why, when it comes to hiring illegals, why it's advantageous strictly for the employer.
He laid off 20 U.S. citizen employees. That happens across this country every day. No one hires an illegal alien, I truly believe, out of the goodness of their heart. They hire them because they work them harder, pay them less, and undercut their competition. So this is about American business. This is about making sure U.S. citizens stay employed. This is about keeping wages at a certain level, not decreasing wages. It's the right thing to do. And there is a way, as Chad said, to bring people in legally. Congress needs to address that.
Which is the discussion we had earlier.
That's the big point. When he says no one hires an illegal out of the goodness of their heart.
The Democrat Party. I mean, you could say the same thing about the Democrat Party because they're so in favor of this, but it's not because they care about those people.
No, they want the vote.
They want the power, the money that goes along.
And the money that you're going to end up being able to put in your back pocket. I'll be quite honest. There's going to be a time when I look to paint my basement, I'm going to be like, how many illegals can you find? Because you know what? If I hire a company, which I'm going to end up doing, I've never gone outside of this. I've never drove over to Home Depot and been like, let's do this, everybody.
But people do.
So I'm going to end up spending thousands of dollars versus if I drive over to Home Depot, maybe we're talking like $500. Maybe.
Yeah, $2,000
or $500. And that's all. That is not the goodness of my heart. I'm not sitting there going like, well, you get to feed your family. Like, no, I'm doing it because I get a break.
A big one.
And you're not going to complain that, hey, listen, I was just walking around in your basement and I noticed that you don't have all the permits for this. Illegals don't do that.
That's because they don't.
Illegals just there to work, get their money.
I just need to knock this out and pay the bills.
So when Homan tells you this, imagine it on scale, whether it's in any sort of manufacturing plant or farm or wherever.
Dude, I'm from Dalton, Georgia.
Carpet.
Those carpet mills. Woo! They know exactly what they're doing up there.
Yes, they do.
And they've been doing it for 50 years, if not longer. At least 50 years.
And it's not out of the goodness of their heart. No one does this out of the goodness of their heart. Tom Homan has that spot on. And for the left, which largely, as I've said, they lead with their heart, these people just want a piece of the American dream.
But they're being exploited.
Well, they're being exploited. They're being turned into indentured servants. Let's not act like this is some sort of, this isn't, Joe Biden ice cream. This isn't nice what they're doing.
That's the flip side of the coin that's the story that never gets told on the news at night.
No,
it's always cute girl from Dalton being taken advantage of, being kicked out of the country, all that heartstrings, when truly what's happening up there is just it's criminal.
They're never going to tell you about the 12 hours at 40% less than a regular American.
Nope.
And so what is the answer? If they're not working there, well, then you have to hire an American at American prices, which does more for the community.
Absolutely, it does. And look, the business is going to be fine. They are. They're going to be fine. They're going to figure out how to work. There's all kinds of things that businesses deal with every day, and it is not a thing that they don't deal with when it comes to employment. They understand, and they figure out the problem, and then they go about it a different way.
Sidebar. San Miguel's really nice.
Well, look, Diane says she wanted to go there. Diane for Smyrna.
Now I just got to look up the weather there.
Well, I mean, come on. It's
high altitude, so it's pretty
It's going to be
pretty chill.
It's going to be perfect, I guarantee you. Like San Diego, 70 degrees all year round.
I'm just going to tell you right now, Diane, I'm stealing your dream.
Yeah.
I'm a dream stealer. I don't even have ideas of my own. I just wait to hear other people's and I glom onto them.
That's right. I love it. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta.
I've always wanted to live in San Miguel.
Yeah. I've never, by the way. I don't even want to go to Mexico. I didn't want to go when I had to go. 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com when we come back.
It's 60 degrees there right now.
Perfect. I'm sure the weather's perfect. Trump using every tool to upend the deep state. Next on Extra.
Did you miss Neil Bortz?
I am shocked.
Don't worry. He's live anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Oh, that radio show.
Did traffic cause you to miss some of the Kimmer Show? Get it on the app.
It's all the kids talked about on Monday at school.
With anytime show replays from the Kimmer, Bortz, the Morning Extra, Clay and Buck, and so much more. Plus local headlines and breaking news. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
It's hot out. If you lose your cool with the law, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. So if you find yourself in trouble after a day of fun, in most cases we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Flounder, and I've got 2 pieces of advice. Marry the girl of your dreams and get the ring at Solomon Brothers. That's what I did. I recently tied the knot, and my wife loves jewelry. So when I heard about Solomon Brothers' Christmas in July event, I was back in the store. Santa ditched the sleigh for a surfboard, and Solomon Brothers is celebrating with 31% off everything. Rings, necklaces, earrings, you name it. It's all 31% off for the 31 days of July. Premium pieces, unbeatable prices, and serious brownie points. Solomon Brothers is Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. They're the preferred jeweler of the Braves, proud partner of the Dogs, and official jeweler of Georgia Tech. So whether you're popping the question, shopping for your wife, or just want to treat yourself, Solomon Brothers is the place. So come see us at Solomon Brothers Jewelers on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and on Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg. Or shop online anytime at SolomonBrothers.com.
A study by Allianz Life reveals that 63% of Americans harbor the fear of running out of money in retirement. With that, let's turn to Coach Pete. Coach, what about the word safe?
Safe. Big word. Big word. Misconstrued sometimes. When you hear safe, it seems boring to some people. Safe, you think of a CD at the bank paying 1%, but there are some safe strategies that will grow your money, help you participate in the upside of the market, but not the downside, and give you lifetime income you can never outlive. That is the true safe, and that puts safety, gives you peace of mind if you have the right safety, doesn't it?
It sure does. And get a look at what the right safety plan for your retirement could be. Call Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, 800-419-6164.
I'm Michelle Stovall, and our company has been family-owned and operated for 75 years. Check us out at StovallINC.com, or better yet, stop by our newly opened 11th store at 9500 Union Hill Road in Canton. At Stovall, we supply you with all your landscaping project needs, completely hassle-free down to delivery. Been dreaming of an outdoor kitchen, fireplace, or other custom paver project? We partner with Keystone Hardscapes for all your beautiful high-end concrete needs. We look forward to making your landscape dreams come true. Stovall has it all.
Fox on Tech.
Electric vehicles don't use gas, but you can still run out of it, at least figuratively. In fact, many EV drivers say their biggest fear is their EV's battery running out of charge while they're running around and not near home or near a place offering charge-up stations. Some gas station chains now have them, as do shopping center parking lots. But if you weren't near one, you could have been in a jam. It's led to the rise of mobile EV charging services where, for a fee, a charger is brought to you for the purpose of giving your EV's battery a fill-up. One such company called Be Charged features its own generator vans and offers roadside services like specialized towing, just in case your battery is really dead. They're operating in 300 cities across 25 states, and they're working with more traditional driver assistance services such as AAA. With Fox on Tech, I'm Evan Brown, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 17th. Marietta City Schools approved the installation of vape detection systems in bathrooms at Marietta Middle and High Schools. Before class begins this fall, the Halo Smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and text school officials when set off. Installation of the systems is expected to cost $60,000. The school system reported over 50 student incidents with vape products last year. A former Cobb County police officer drowned while trying to rescue a family off the coast of South Carolina. 38-year-old Chase Childers of Dallas had received a Lifetime Achievement Award for saving lives during his police career. His family posted online that he was a devoted husband and father who displayed courage and selflessness during his life. A GoFundMe account has been posted to raise money for the family. And President Trump says he's convinced Atlanta's favorite soda to change its ingredients. President Trump posted on social media Wednesday that Coca-Cola agreed to use real cane sugar instead of high-fructose corn syrup for American products. No official word from Coca-Cola yet. Today's weather partly cloudy, hot and humid with temperatures reaching the mid-90s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I think it was Monday when I talked about the grand conspiracy. And there's a work underway to try to declassify information that will ultimately incriminate Hillary Clinton and all the people that worked on the Russia collusion, all that hoax, all that stuff that went on. And could that be part of what Donald Trump is doing right now when he's pushing back on the Epstein narrative?
I believe this might be part of this because we've now had a multitude of reports that have talked about how the FBI is actively working on this conspiracy charge and it tying into basically taking out the entirety of the deep state. That all the games that have been played over the last 10 years can all be tied, whether it's Hillary and her server, here's Comey and Brenner, and here's the work that they were doing behind the scenes, here's how they created this particular hoax. It basically what you're doing with a conspiracy charge is you're able to link all of these people together in a criminal enterprise. And at that point, there is no statute of limitations. And this discussion here has been picking up steam. That maybe this is the reason why Donald Trump is telling you, chill the F out. Like, we got this.
Back off just a tick. All we need to do is work.
Like all the hides you're looking for, just give me some room here.
Let me get it because I'm going to deliver what Los has called the pound of flesh, what we all would like to see happen.
Because we know these people to be dirty. We know them to be criminals. There's a reason why you had so many pardons on the way out. This ends up taking out the deep state at the knees. Remember 2016, during the swamp? Donald Trump never had any idea how deep the swamp is, how the deep state...
I don't think many people did.
No. And so to know that USAID, okay, that leg was chopped out. Now you're going after the illegals leg. If this is real... that you're going to end up trying to put together a conspiracy case against these people, that's where you're getting your payoff. It doesn't do me any good to be like, well, here's a grainy picture we think of so-and-so at Epstein Island.
Yeah.
No, go for the real big catch here. Like, pass up on the little gimme fish. Take the big fish.
That's right. Catch the shark, not the guppy. And can you imagine if they're able to pull this off? They would restore confidence in American justice. Because right now, we laughed on what Monday, dude, who's going to get punished? Nobody's going to get punished. Because there's been no reason to believe that anybody would be punished. for anything they do, there's two different legal systems, one for you and I, and then one for the elites.
Yes.
If they are able to pull this off, and they hold people actually accountable.
If this is real.
If this is real. If this is indeed what's happening.
Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and their
Trump
allies within it.
Yeah. Dude, this would change the future for the country altogether, because then people are going to be more reluctant to do what they supposedly did in Russiagate and Hunter Biden's laptop and the 51 intel agents. People wouldn't be willing to lie knowing that they won't get in trouble. This would be something that changes the minds of the American people and once again restores faith that there is actually one legal system and it's blind.
And when you're talking about defending a conspiracy charge, how difficult that is to actually do. You know, we have a friend of the show in Sean Still. And Sean, works in the state government. When he told us the story about being caught up in all of the, hey, Donald Trump wanted us to find these votes, and he got named in it because what he did was he fulfilled his Georgia state constitution obligation. And because he did that, he then was part of the criminal conspiracy charge. Mm-hmm. He's like, I've never once talked to anybody in the Trump administration. Right. I don't know any of them. I've never had anything to do with them. But because you got linked, now you're part of this criminal enterprise. Think about how far-reaching that could be if you're tying it to real criminality in D.C.
Man, you would get people whose names you've never even heard.
Wouldn't you trade this whole Epstein silliness for this? I
bet that's all rolled up in it too. So you would get both.
You're going to get what you want.
Yeah, it would seem like you'd get both,
but with real teeth.
Yeah.
Rather than me having to explain that this particular person, slept with a minor, raped them in 2007, versus I don't have a statute of limitations, and I got you on a 10-year charge or a 5-year charge.
And you can prosecute it in Florida because of the raid on Mar-a-Lago.
Right. In Florida, you'll have a friendly jury.
You don't have the D.C. jury pool. You don't have 96% of people voting Democrat.
Everything is in your favor if this goes down this way.
Then, take it a step further. Because we've seen it here in Georgia. That's what the charges were against Donald Trump, the RICO charges that fell apart.
Right.
Same thing with the YSL case. This is not a Fonnie Willis case that's going to fall apart, because I trust Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Donald Trump, for that matter, way more than I trust Fonnie Willis as far as skill to accomplish the goal.
Fonnie couldn't keep it in her pants.
Well,
and that's why this case fell apart.
Yes, that's right.
All right. I trust far more from listening to Kash Patel.
Me too.
That this dude is going to be able, if this is the way it's, and it's such a big if, I hope this is, it's almost conspiratorial for us to be talking about. It's like conspiracy theory, but there is enough smoke here where there's got to be some fire of, this is what we're doing to take out the deep state.
I bet in the next few days you'll start seeing it pop up on Fox News Channel.
That they'll start talking about whether or not this is happening.
If you watch Fox, I bet in the next few days you'll see this. So maybe it is conspiratorial that we're talking about it.
But we're talking about it before. It's us and Glenn Beck.
That's right, exactly.
And a handful of podcasters.
Yeah, that's right.
That are actually discussing that this is reportedly been what the plan is. But people that talk for a living, they're so caught up in talking about Epstein this, Epstein that, which your mama's figured it out. I think we're way ahead of the curve on this. I don't think our listeners care. I think they're more interested in, what do you do to take out the deep state, and what do you do to lighten the load of my pocketbook?
Well, because that would kill two birds with one stone.
Sure would.
If that is indeed what's happening, and we feel like that's what's happening.
You're going to get your justice, but it's going to be a bigger, better,
absolutely,
form of justice in my mind.
And you get the people that have tried to sabotage Donald Trump and the United States of America for the last at least 10 years, if not longer.
And wait till
definitely 10 years.
And wait till they start rolling over on each other.
And they will.
Let
me tell you.
And rats on the ship, man.
Dude, they will run and take cover and sell out anybody that they possibly can, because their protections will be gone. It's not like the folks testifying in front James Comer about the viability of Joe Biden when they just say, fifth, I'm taking the fifth. Every one of them.
Don't worry about me. I'm taking the fifth.
Because they got protections. They're still protected by that same deep state.
Yes.
Imagine tearing down that veil. Oh, dude.
Do you imagine what the feeling would be in D.C. of, oh, Lord, that he really did it?
But more importantly, yes, that. But more importantly, you listening right now, having faith in your justice system. There's nothing more important than that. If you don't have a justice system that is actually blind, then you can get screwed just like they tried to screw Donald Trump. And if they can go after one of the most wealthy men in the world, one of the most
former president,
if they can go after him, they can absolutely do it to you too.
It's so delicious to even think about. You know what it is? It's dessert. Yeah, and as I tell you,
before you eat,
I leave dessert for last.
Yeah.
If I ever do have a dessert, I'm not a big sugar tooth. Like peanut butter to me is a treat.
I love some peanut butter.
Okay, I just don't have a lot of dessert, but this would be the sweetest brand of dessert ever.
Yeah, right.
Whatever your favorite dessert possibly is, I'm like that would. You know what it is? It's my grandmother's pecan pie.
Oh my, yeah.
Okay, that's what this is.
My grandma's peanut butter cake.
Okay.
She made this divine peanut butter cake, and my only aunt that could make it like hers, that tasted like hers, has now passed. So it's gone. It just doesn't exist anymore. But my memory hasn't faded on how much I love it and how much I loved it.
Ouija board?
Maybe. Get the devil's like, what will you trade to get that recipe back?
What will you trade for this recipe? How much did you like that pie?
Seriously. I love it.
No, I think especially when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure that I must have rotted out like at least 3 or 4 teeth on grandma's pecan pie.
I don't know how you I don't know how you quench that sweet tooth, because my daddy had it and I certainly have it. My son Jacob has it. Goodness, man, we can't stop.
You know, when I go to the movie theater, like, what do you get?
Oh,
okay. You put both hands up. Hold on, let me start.
Yeah, it's more like, what do I not get, because it'd be an easier list.
So this is my cheat. I get Twizzlers.
Yeah, see, no.
And that's not enough for me, and I get it.
No, that's not. I don't even like Twizzlers. What are you talking about?
I'm like, I'm getting a Twizzler.
I'm getting the big popcorn.
I'm just not a big sugar eater. I just don't like it. It there's a point where I think I get like a headache.
I wish. I wish it gave me a headache. Then I would have a reason to not. Dude, I get the big popcorn, and then I get chocolate-covered peanuts, typically the Nestle Goober brand, if they're available. And I don't drink a lot of Coke just to drink Cokes. I get the biggest Coke they got. Because it's, the popcorn
bounce. Yeah, so you got to bounce it off.
Oh, my gosh. And then maybe throw in some Bunch of Crunches. or some Snicker bars.
Dude, so you're like out $50 before you even pay for the movie.
Easy.
I would love to see. So Trump put the pressure on Coca-Cola. He said that he got the executives to put real sugar in instead of the high fructose corn syrup. Because that glass bottle Coke is the one something special.
Well, but only the ones that are bottled from Mexico.
Right.
And I didn't know. Lady that came on this when I was doing mornings on the country station at 101.5 for 10 years with Cadillac in Dallas. We had a great morning show. It was so much fun. We had this discussion about Coca-Cola changing after 1986 when they came out with New Coke, right? And then they changed it when they brought back Coke Classic. I suppose that's, or at least the lady from Coca-Cola said, they stopped using real sugar then when they started using the high fructose corn syrup or whatever. She said, if you ever want to taste it like it tasted back then, buy one of those that are bottled from Mexico because they use actual sugar. We did the test. Mama's over the house one day. She's the one that told me. Never tasted the same after they changed it to Coke Classic. We buy one. Both of us have it. Both of us take a sip. She was like, oh my gosh, that's it. And that was truly the difference. And so if Donald Trump's right, it's going back to 86, 85, 86 when New Coke came out. That's what they're going back to, that truly original recipe that they had.
I think sugar's evil, but I'm not sure
me too.
That anything that's like a fake sugar is really great either.
No, it's got to be worse.
Yeah.
Because anytime you're
here's some chemical to make it taste like. I'll give you an example. My wife, for some reason, whenever she has, It's an alternative to sugar that she's put in her coffee before.
Is it that stevia?
It was something along those lines. It's one of those brands. For some reason, it would make her incredibly dizzy.
Oh, wow.
Like she would have a reaction to it.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And regular sugar, not an issue. But so now, like she makes it a point, I can't use in my coffee any of these alternatives because of what it does to her system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's in there that's doing that.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
Chemicals are in there.
Chemicals.
Yeah. I would, I've always heard this, and do you believe this to be true? I've always heard that if we just discovered sugar now,
that it'd be illegal?
Or regulated like alcohol and tobacco.
Yeah.
Because I believe that too.
Yeah, it's as an addictive chemical.
Dude,
and what it does to you.
All I have to do is my son who's living in North Carolina for another week or so, up there playing ball. The host family that lives with the wife loves to bake, and she knows about Jacob's food allergies, and so she works around it. And he comes home every day, and there's a new batch of cookies, new batch of brownies. He's like, Dad, I have to work out twice a day because all she does is bake, and it's the best you've ever had in your life.
He may never come home.
May never.
Then he goes and fishes.
And then he goes and fishes.
That's right. Yeah. Cookies, fishing, baseball.
Dude, what better life could you possibly have than that right there? Well, maybe going to the pool in the afternoon with your teammates doesn't seem like a bad gig. And I know that's what Los and his girls are doing this afternoon with their teammates. Should be a fun day for sure. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
You have an invite.
770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. May have to make an appearance. Can't do it tomorrow. So today
might be the day.
Might be the day that it goes down. I'm telling you.
My wife is more that she's like, yeah, bring Tug.
See, that's as sweet as you can give it. But that is a friend indeed right there. When your wife is even okay with it. And your sweet little daughter, your youngest daughter, she was like, I like Tug.
I like Mr. Tug.
Dude, you want to talk about putting a smile on my face that I look like, I don't know, the dude in the Black Hole Sun video from Soundgarden in the 90s. That giant smile on my face made me feel welcome, and I appreciate that. When we come back, another Biden staffer won't speak truth. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Good morning, it's your friend Los. Let's talk about True Prep, because when it comes to getting ready for any situation that can possibly occur, well, that's what True Prep allows you to do. 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta or at trueprep.com. Now, I'm into food storage. That's my big deal. I get the freeze-dried food. That is part of my prep work. That's just because I'm used to crazy weather, and that's how I get adjusted to things. Maybe you're an outdoor enthusiast. They've got plenty of equipment in order to help you out. Or maybe you're into personal safety, home safety. That is where you're looking to perhaps be a first-time firearm buyer. Okay, that's totally cool. Here's what's really good about True Prep. True Prep can take care of you on both ends of this. Not just the getting you with the right firearm, getting you with the ammunition, everything else you need at a great price, but also the back end when it comes to the safety aspect. True Prep, actually last Sunday, had for their first time, it was their first time fundamental course for first-time gun buyers. It was so popular, it went so well, they decided we've got to do it a few more times. You've got a couple of them coming up on August 3rd and August 24th. So not only should you head over to True Prep and buy that next weapon for your home and for your safety, but sign up for the class. Or if you're getting it for a loved one, sign them up for the class. That's how True Prep takes care of you. Go to truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 17th. From the NFL, the Washington Commanders have signed future Pro Football Hall of Famer pass rusher Von Miller to a one-year deal. The veteran has accumulated 129.5 sacks during his career. The Atlanta Braves, they'll be back in action tomorrow night as the All-Star break will come to an end. The New York Yankees will be in town for a weekend series at Truist Park. The Braves, currently 42-53 on the season. That's 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer, and freezing in the winter. You need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
There's a tidal wave of clean car happiness sweeping across Braves country. Tidal Wave Auto Spa is your go-to car wash destination for a game day ready ride. Experience Major League Clean at Tidal Wave, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves. Stay clean car happy all season long with membership discounts, exclusive giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutospa.com/Braves for details.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
Hi, this is Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine. Did you know that we have world-class entertainment right here in our own backyard?
Thanks, Tara. You're right. I am Emily Shipp, the director of the Dallas Theater and Civic Center, and we have something for the entire family. From hysterical comedians, incredible concerts, and engaging stage productions, our full show season is packed with must-see performances. And best of all at affordable prices. And we're more than just great shows. Our education department offers classes and workshops for ages 7 through adult. Along with the Dallas Theater, the Civic Center is available for private rentals like weddings, receptions, recitals, professional events, and so much more. Visit DallasTheaterGA.com as well as our social media to view our season schedule, register for classes, or book your next event today.
Wow, Emily, affordable entertainment, education, and celebrations. Check it out, friends. And remember, Our Town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Don't let your afternoon drive get bogged down with traffic and weather breaks. Just enjoy the Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m.
And if we reduce the percentage point by 1 point, we make $300 billion. I don't know whether that's good or bad for me. I have no idea. I got a monthly statement going, oh my God.
They don't charge you for that statement because that's costing them money at this point.
But the envelope's getting thinner and thinner.
Just say, your bi-monthly pay insult.
Don't worry, it's only the Kimmer on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. It is Friday Eve. Thank God it is Friday. That is front office Los. He's barking out something. I'm not 100% sure. What was it?
So I have good news and bad news for you.
Always start with the bad news. That way you end on the good news.
It's a little more dangerous in San Miguel than Alpharetta, Georgia, or Cumming, Georgia.
Okay. What's the good news?
It's safer in San Miguel than the rest of Mexico.
Okay, well, all right then. Fair enough.
So we have a listener, Diane, who called in,
for Smyrna.
started talking about looking into moving to San Miguel, Mexico, a really pretty mountainous town, nice weather in central Mexico, and how hard it was, what you had to prove in order to be able to immigrate, to move there, to actually become a resident there, and how difficult that was, yet we don't have anywhere near the same restrictions under the Biden administration.
Good
so that was the comedy of that. But then that sent me down the rabbit hole because it doesn't take much, Diane, or any of y'all. You send me anything, I'm like, ooh, okay.
Los is looking at houses on Zillow.com.
Me and Realtor.com have been getting real intimate about all the properties in San Miguel, Mexico.
There you go.
Or in this case, it's San Miguel Delande. Yeah, so I now know a little bit more. So that's the good news and bad news. If you ever decide you want to go there, Tug, I'm right there with you. We can do the show from there.
I just I don't want to go to Mexico. The last time I went, there's 5 bodies that washed up on the shore. That's just not anything I want to be a part of.
Tug, if you're in the mountains, there is no shore.
No, I know, but that just means that they toss people off the top of the mountain.
There's no bodies that can wash up.
No, I know, but then they just roll down.
If you don't deal with ocean,
yeah,
there ain't no bodies that roll up.
They roll down the hill, though. That's the problem.
I'm not looking at the last time. The crime rate is significantly better there than it is in other parts of Mexico.
All right, then. Governor's Gun Club Beach Bash Law Enforcement Gala benefiting the Cobb County Public Safety Foundation is tomorrow at Governor's in Kennesaw. The night will feature live yacht rock hits from the Governor's Gun Club Band, an optional VIP cocktail hour, silent auction, 5-star dining experience in the club's grand banquet hall. And if I'm not mistaken, that's where we hosted our event about 4 years ago there at Governor's. That was so much fun with Neil and Kimmer and Joey Jones and Kelvin King was there. Janelle was there. It was a big time. It was a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, we had videos that were submitted by even Marjorie Taylor Greene. There was a whole lot of different people running for office that contributed to that. And so hopefully down the road we'll put together another festival like that.
Something tells me there may be something in the works.
Here's how you know that's a good place. My favorite bartender up there, her name, America.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
I love it. And I remember the first time I went in there, I was like, hang on, they have a bar at the shooting range? And there's rules and regulations. It's
when you retire.
Yep.
When you retire your weapon.
Yep.
You're more than welcome to go hang at the bar.
That's right.
Yeah. Everybody gets ID'd. They take your license once you've had one sip.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
No more shooting, which makes perfect sense. But when you first hear it on the surface, you're like,
wait a minute. There's a bar, like a very nice bar at the Governor's Gun Club.
This is America, right here.
It very much is. Similar to your golf course, your club, where, hey, I played golf, and by the time you get to the bar, well, you put the clothes away. You're not hitting anything else.
Exactly
It's the same kind of concept.
They got an indoor shotgun range. It's
Dude,
awesome.
Which is amazing. The first time I'd ever shot skeets was there.
Yeah.
And it was cool indoors. You can get your tickets now, ccpsf.com, and it is the Cobb County Public Safety Foundation. So that's what the initials are, ccpsf.com, to go to the bash.
Another piece of good news. So this has just gone through the Senate in the last 20 minutes. PBS, NPR, and USAID have all been officially defunded.
Uh-oh.
Went through the House. It got through the Senate. The votes were at 51-48 for H.R. 4. So let's just point out that now, especially when it comes to NPR, because obviously that's our business, well, now you got to do it on your own.
Let's see if you can. Something tells me they cannot. And look, maybe George Soros will just swoop in and put his money where his mouth is, and he'll pay for it all. Or Bill Gates or whomever.
It's already happened in the marketplace.
That's right.
There are George Soros-owned stations in the Atlanta marketplace.
Oh, yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, that company that George Soros backed is the one that purchased. It wouldn't be too hard to figure out which one's in town. It's a pop station and a sports station. Just throwing it out there if you want to figure out who it is that owns. But so can they survive on their own? Because the head of NPR, she was on all the talk shows. I saw her pop up on social media just talking about how nonpartisan they are. Dude, I mean, just lie. And she's a good-looking lady. She's lying between her teeth. I mean, just outright lying to people left and right.
She's doing what she's supposed to try and keep her business alive.
Absolutely. But
if they can do it on their own, by all means. But Air America did not last very long.
Yeah. And I would wonder how much, because SiriusXM, they have some sort of leftist station. I'd be curious to what kind of listenership, and I don't know that you'd ever be able to figure it out because XM doesn't share their subscribers with the public.
But at least they have a variety of programming.
Mm-hmm. And it's paid for.
And
so it doesn't matter.
Paid for. Yeah.
Different model.
Again, if the model is like for us, hey, we have a lean to what we talk about because of the people that are on this. But that's also shown to be a working model. You have never been able to have radio stations that cater to a far left view that are able to exist long term.
Well, they hate capitalism to begin with.
They just don't work.
They would have to.
They've never been able to hold audience.
Yeah.
Because and it's still about the arena of ideas. And we talk about that. It's about sharing ideas. And when your ideas are very hard to explain, suddenly it's very hard to hold audience. Suddenly it's very hard to have advertising.
Nobody wants to be part of that. I don't want to be a part of it.
But under the satellite, model, it's different
because people subscribe.
Yes,
but I will tell you about that. When on the off chance you do hear subscriber numbers, something that I've learned that every car that sits on a car dealership lot is counted as a subscriber because there's a
2 or 3 month trial period that they all have, and so those all do count.
Every one of them counts. So when they tell you the big numbers of how many people they have subscribing, remember every car on a dealership lot has that. When we come back, we've told you the truth, and now U.S. Representative Eli Crane is confirming it. Next on Extra 106.3.
For the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, every once in a while I have to do this. It's a completely futile exercise. A little kerfuffle on The View the other day. Anna Navarro, Hispanic, said that Trump's deportation policies was a reign of terror. Somebody objected to that. She said, "Oh, you're just a white male. Oh, that's racist." And here we go. The racist word again. So every once in a while, I try to explain to people the difference between the words prejudice, bigotry, and racist. And I might as well be whispering in a tornado. Prejudiced. You prejudge somebody. If they smell, you make a judgment that maybe they don't bathe that often. If they're wearing all black and a mask, and a hoodie, and carrying a gun, running into a jewelry store, prejudice, prejudge. Maybe they're going to rob the place. Okay, the second one, bigotry. Well, that's just a perhaps unreasonable hatred or dislike for somebody or for a particular idea. The word bigot has nothing to do with race. It's all about an unreasonable dislike for somebody. But now, let's deal with racism. Of course, the current definition is anytime anybody says anything negative in any way about somebody that's black, they're a racist. Sorry, that's not the definition. The real historic definition is a belief in the genetic inferiority of one race compared to the next. I am genetically superior to you. Well, that would make me a racist. Okay, this is short and sweet, folks, but we do have racial problems in this country, and we are not going to get close to solving them until we accurately identify them. Okay, I repeated this sermon again, maybe again in another couple of months. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Donald Trump's America.
President Trump says he's pushing lawmakers in Texas to redraw the state's congressional map ahead of the midterms to create more Republican-friendly districts.
We're going to get another 3 or 4 or 5 in addition. Texas would be the biggest one, and that'll be fine.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says the state's legislature could also do a mid-decade redistricting to boost Democrat-held seats. During President Trump's first term, Democrats flipped 40 House seats. He's predicting a better outcome for the GOP next year because of passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
It's really just a fantastic bill, and it's about time that we're going to start, and we'll start talking about it. But once we do, I think we're going to have the greatest midterm that you've ever seen.
Democrats are also keen to talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill, arguing Medicaid cuts will kick millions of Americans off the health insurance program. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Democrats are so frustrated. They have no legislative agenda. All they can do is file lawsuits.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
This hasn't happened since Bill Clinton was president. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Federal funding already approved, maybe canceled.
On this vote, the yeas are 51, the nays are 48.
That was at about 2 a.m. this morning when Republicans finally approved what's called a rescissions package, targeting spending Doge called wasteful.
So this bill claws back $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting that's already appropriated by Congress. So that cuts funding for NPR, PBS. However, the bill exempts $400 million for PEPFAR funding. The White House agreed to remove the popular AIDS relief program from the package.
Fox's Aisha Hasni at the Capitol. 2 Republicans joined, Democrats voting no, but the bill now goes back to the House to vote on the amended version. For the second time, a Comey has been fired. First, it was the FBI director back in 2017 in a clash with President Trump over the Russia investigation. Now it's James Comey's daughter, Maureen, who'd been a federal prosecutor in New York. And Republican Congressman Byron Donalds tells Fox,
well, it's about time. She hasn't really done that good of a job. And at the end of the day, President Trump wants results from every part of the administration, including the Department of Justice.
Maureen Comey had been part of the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking prosecution. The rapper ended up not guilty on that charge and racketeering, but convicted on 2 lesser prostitution counts. Comey was also involved in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. As a controversy over that simmers, conservatives demand more information about Epstein's death, awaiting trial on charges of sex trafficking teenage girls. They don't believe a Justice Department conclusion that Epstein committed suicide, and they believe Epstein left behind a list of high-profile clients. The DOJ says there is no list.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
And President Trump posted on Truth Social, they're weaklings. He doesn't want their support anymore. We just got news on the economy showing we shot more than expected last month after a big decline in May. Retail sales rose 0.6%. Economists had predicted only a 0.1% increase. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
All right. Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Search for the Extra 106.3 app wherever you download apps by searching XTRA 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. We got to quickly say happy birthday to Los's grandmother.
89.
Dude, that's so awesome. And she loves to gamble, I hear.
That is her jam.
Dude, that's awesome.
Getting out and gambling.
Heck yeah. Dude, just pulling in dollar bills. Does she do that? Does she do the nickel slots? Does she do the dollars? What's she do?
Nah, I think she's nickel slot.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, my mom was the same way. And she loves. She's not at church. Mom was at Cherokee.
One of the last conversations that we had last Thanksgiving when we were in town, she started explaining last Christmas, she started explaining to my daughters, listen, I can't take this money with me, and there's better taxes if I just give it to you.
Right.
So she was just basically pointing out, like, girls, I'm going to give you this money as gifts. You get these tax exemptions on it. Here's this money, and I'm going to be doing this for the next for the next year or so. This is what I'm going to be doing. I was like,
wise woman.
But that's a funny aspect when you're 88, now 89 years old, and she's still with it enough to go, how do I make sure the government doesn't get mine on the way out? So that's what she was telling us all.
Think about that. That's got to be something that you at 89 now have to contemplate.
And so matter of frank, just saying here's matter of fact, I'm going to point this out. I'm concerned about death tax, so I'm going to make sure and gift y'all money for the next several years.
And, those on the left be like, well, I got to pay your fair share. Got to pay. What is your fair share? They never tell you the answer to that question.
George Steinbrenner is still, in my opinion, the guy who figured it out the most. George Steinbrenner, obviously former owner of the New York Yankees, he died in that window where we got rid of the death tax.
Mm-hmm.
So his estate was like, We don't owe you anything.
Nothing. And I they
were talking about having to sell the team if he had passed away at a different time.
Yeah, I think the death tax is so absurd. Something that I think a lot of taxes are absurd, but that one leads the way for sure. You're leaving what you earned, what you worked so hard for, to your family, and the government's like, no, we got to get some of that too. What? I mean, this is the most absurd. And I know the left is thinking, yes, absolutely. I mean, tax everyone to death.
You were driving on our roads all this time.
Oh my God. Yeah, and they've already paid for those roads.
Exactly.
That's the thing that
my grandmother hasn't had a kid in school in about 70 years.
And she's probably still paying or at least up until a point.
Yeah.
Paid. I don't know what the cutoff is.
She lives in Alamo Heights, San Antonio, so that's an area where it's property taxes is a little bit pricey.
Yeah. And there's no reason for her to be paying for that.
But happy birthday. That's cool.
So awesome. So awesome. Love stuff like that. And then there's one other thing that we need to cover, and that's the video that you had pulled up.
All right. So this video, which is now making its way all over the internet, it's been out there for about 12 hours. It features Coldplay at a concert, and they have this giant video screen. On the video screen, as they're panning around to different people in the stands, there's a gray-haired guy, I'd say probably in the realm of like 6 foot, 6'1". Good-looking dude. He's got his arms around a woman, I'd say she's about 5'8", 5'7". She's basically got her head against his chest, and they're just
singing.
There.
They're singing Paradise,
and they're just enjoying Coldplay. And as soon as they come up on the big screen of them, he immediately ducks down, and she turns around away from the screen, away from the camera, and covers her face. And as it turns out, because the internet does its thing, he's the CEO of the company, she's HR, both of them are married, and it's an affair.
Uh-oh. The company is called Astronomer. He is the she is the chief people officer, and he is the CEO of Astronomer. His name is Andy Byron. Her name is Kristen Cabot. And yes, the internet found them out quickly. And the thing was, they sold themselves out so badly. By the way, he ducked down out of sight, trying to get out of the sight, just trying to make sure nobody saw him way too late. And then she just turns her back, and the friend that's with them has the OS grin with her hand on her cheek going, oh no, this is not good. And then people started searching for it because there was only a snippet of the video.
It's like 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds worth where you actually see them.
Right. And the original video wasn't even that. And someone asked the question, hey, who are these people? Who else has video that was at that concert? And then people started flooding the internet with full video. And even in the full video, like Los is saying, probably 3 seconds on screen until they scatter and duck down. It's amazing. We have super sleuths.
And the worst part about it, they probably were like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. They more than likely got home and woke up to all of this fervor where even a couple of jokers at a radio station in Atlanta are talking about you two.
Ooh, Lord.
Chief people officer, huh?
Yeah.
Not to mention everyone on Facebook that started, basically, hey, sorry y'all are going through this.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to wake up to, you're now internet famous.
Caught possibly cheating. That's one headline. I was like, because there's now pictures of them and their families popping up, like them with their respective partners.
I'm just saying that if you were to catch some dude and your wife like that, there is no other. Like there's something else happening there.
Yeah.
Like it's different. They're standing side by side. They're at a concert.
Yeah.
They're at whatever.
More concerts. People go to.
I was gonna say we've got a whole lot of friends that we've all enjoyed time with each other, hanging out here. And if we ever came up on the video screen, it's like, oh hey, it's what we're doing. All right, whatever. You ain't finding me like that with anybody in this building.
Of course not. Yeah, it's they never even thought. Like they thought, man,
We're at a concert. Nobody's around.
We got some corporate tickets.
We're good.
We're the executives. Let's go see Coldplay.
Nobody around is going to say a word. We're in charge here.
They didn't have to say a word because the camera said a word. And then social media said a word. I would not want to be in their shoes today. Man.
How about these responses to, now this is the CEO's wife because she has her Facebook.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about this unfortunate circumstance. You're way hotter than her. What a D he is. Your husband is cheating.
Jeez, dude.
Damn came from TikTok. Crazy. Feel sorry for you. I mean, this is just one after another after another.
Goodness, dude.
Lawyer up. Take him to the cleaners. Get that alimony. Drag his arse through the courts, babe. You deserve everything. He deserves nothing. I mean, this is one after another.
Well, I mean,
I like this one. What's worse, finding out that your spouse is cheating that they're a Coldplay fan?
I'll throw myself on the sword on this. I kind of like Coldplay.
There's some likability there.
Yeah,
I'm not,
I like them.
I'm not crazy about it. I don't own anything. Then again, not like anybody owns anything
nobody
anymore.
does anymore, yeah.
But
that's right.
I don't seek it out, but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Coldplay that Apple put it on everybody's phone?
Nah, it was U2.
Oh, that was U2. Okay.
Yeah. My wife loves Coldplay. I like Coldplay. She's not even a concert person, but she was like, if we ever get a chance to go to Coldplay, I want to go. So at some point, I'm going to see them because she always goes to concerts with me, and not being as musically inclined as I am, I appreciate the fact that she puts up with me. So I'm at some point going to take her, but I'm going to take her, not a mistress.
This is funny. The universe decided it was time for the truth to come out.
Buddy.
And I think there's some truth there.
Yes, there is. Was that Miranda Lambert song, White Liar? Truth comes out a little at a time. That may need to be restated. It comes out a lot at a time. Because, man, oh, man, that just blew up. And overnight just blew up. To Los's point, talking about it in Atlanta, Georgia, when it happened in, I think, Boston. Goodness gracious.
Oh, good old Andy Byron.
Buddy. Sorry, Andy.
Sorry, bro.
Your luck has run out, sir. But that's low down, though. Cheating like that is low down.
The worst part about it, well, at least the next worst part about it, is the woman who's next to them, who's obviously compliant, knowing what's going on. What's going on. She's the look on her face of like, oh my God, now everybody knows.
Yeah, she's doing the OS, crazy, uncomfortable, or nervous smile with her hand on her cheek.
Oh man.
I've never
it was at this moment they knew. Both their face of like, oh my God, we're on a giant screen.
And we're about to be everywhere.
Okay.
I've never known anybody that has been in a relationship that I knew that the cheating was going on. I know after the fact, a couple times. But I've never known anybody in that situation, and I'm so glad, because that would be a horrible, horrible thing to have to keep.
About the closest I've ever come was me and a couple of our friends who told a good friend of ours. In fact, he was actually texting me during the NLAL All-Star game. We said like 15 years ago, hey, that girl's bad news, man. Like, no.
Steer clear.
And we were right. Now, he's been married to a woman that we all went, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And we were right.
Yeah.
And so your friends, kind of tell you this sort of stuff, but that's the closest we've ever been to that sort of scenario.
There's a great line from Morgan Wallen's song talking about dating a girl, and she's the type of girl that your friends say, don't F it up. That's the line, and I think it's golden, because you're just like you're saying.
That's how.
Because they're not emotionally involved. They can see the forest for the trees. They are able to see the 30,000-foot view.
When we met her and she hung out with us, I remember we did a poker night, and she would come play, and we're like, dude, she's so freaking cool. It's like, don't mess this up. And sure enough, they've been married probably about 15, 16 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you my son's girlfriend, they've been dating over a year now, and he's pretty smitten with her. She's pretty smitten with him. The first people I went and asked, like, what do y'all think? Was all of his buddies.
Yeah.
And every one of them were like, she's great. And that's not always been the case.
No.
They've always leveled with me.
Yeah, they know.
There was a different girlfriend. They're like,
When you act significantly different in a bad way, like if Jeray suddenly was around us and he was no longer Cinderella, or he always kept no facial hair.
Yeah.
Because this is the way she likes me. We would all be like, dude.
Yeah, no, it's been requested I let this thing go back out. Got about another week till we get back to normal.
That's right.
But when it ends up
changing you.
Yeah, but like any good situation should make you the best parts of you.
That's right. And that's lifted up and encouraged, and that's
welcome to Loveline. 404-741-1230.
When did you know somebody was cheating and you had to keep that secret? Were you ever put in that position? I'm eager.
Or when did you tell your friend that he or she was not the one?
Oh, my.
404-741-1230. Welcome to Extra Loveline.
That's exactly right. Old Dr. Drew got nothing on us. Well, he and Adam Carolla.
I love that show back in the day.
Dude, it was good.
Man, I listened
every night.
I listened every night. I was working at the time, Frisco Rough Rider Baseball. That is the Rangers' minor league affiliate, and it's just down the street from their major league team. I did an entire minor league season, and every single time I'd leave the studio, the only thing I could pick up on the way back to Fort Worth was Loveline. So I'd listen to Loveline the whole way back and then into the evening.
Dude, that's awesome. I remember listening to it too. It was on so many rock stations.
Yeah, it was on a rock station.
Because it was, it was edgy enough. They'd get into some detail that maybe you wouldn't get on into, in a country station or whatever. The best. UFC at the White House has been so intriguing to me. I'm not even a UFC guy, but I love the fact that Donald Trump's like, shoot, yeah, we're going to have a UFC fight there. And Dana White has said they're already planning it.
I love this. The joke for me has been in Biden's America, he gives you a dude with fakers showing him off on the White House lawn.
So weird.
This is Dana White, obviously the guy who runs all of UFC, owns the whole product. This is what he had to say when he was on a podcast talking about what their plans are for this fight.
So I'm up at my house like every year in Maine at 4th of July. And I had texted with him 3 or 4 times that day, and he never told me he was announcing it. And then all of a sudden my phone just starts blowing up. And then I start blowing Lene up, and we're all going. But we had already done, all the logistics. My team went out there and walked it. We're putting together the renderings. They should be done in the next 10 days. And then we're going to fly out to the White House and present it to him, see what he likes and what he doesn't like, and start working on it. And Ivanka is in the middle of this too. So this is a Sphere one-of-one unique event that will never happen again. And I will blow the doors off this thing. I'm going to make this one of the greatest events of all time.
And are you thinking a full card, like full prelims, full main card, or just like a couple fights?
Nope. It'll be a full card, and it will be the best card we've ever done to date.
I love it, dude.
You get a good fight card and a good UFC fight night, because the cool part about it, if you're not familiar, you have early prelims, then you start to have like the actual fight card. So this might start at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon with early prelims. Then at 7, you get into the prelims. And then by the evening, as you get into the main card, that's oftentimes when it goes to pay-per-view or, just whatever specialty channel it's going to be on. If I get all of that, or at least a full fight card at the White House, man, that's going to be so cool.
But for me, as a guy that doesn't even watch UFC, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like I would, if that's a pay-per-view, I'm in.
You'll know, based on the fight card, you'll start looking into, okay, who's fighting, and then you'll start figuring out who they are and what their backstory is. And I can imagine that it's going to be a who's who of the top players in the game because they want to fight at the White House.
Can you imagine the people that come to the White House to see it?
Yes. Now I'm curious about that, because one of the things about UFC, you'll put 20,000 in an arena, no problem. Mm-hmm. No problem for the big fights.
Yeah.
I wonder what the atmosphere is going to be like as far as what they build for the White House. Like, is it going to be some, smaller arena kind of setup? I mean, remember, these are the people that did Fight Island during COVID. That's when I got into the UFC and then fell in love with the UFC because it was the only sport that was going on. You get to a random, golf tournament here and there, or a little exhibition play, but the UFC made it a point. No, we're going to go to Dubai and we're going to fight.
Dude, when Donald Trump put up those huge American flags, this is on scale with that. This is on par with that. Like, he was like, I want everybody to see these flags and how much I love them. This is kind of like that for me. It's like, we're going to be so America in your face.
Yes.
That if you hate it, you're going to really hate it.
It's our birthday.
That's right.
This is part of what we're doing.
Yeah, that's right. And it's so cool, man.
I don't know what it is about it. I love it.
Me too. Well, it's just because it's unheard of.
Yeah.
Because it's unheard of. What other president's going to do that?
There's something about it that's so, and I say this with love, Americana in your face, a little bit of trashy, you deal with that.
Yeah, that's right. It's PCB.
I'm not putting the car in the front yard.
On the blocks.
But I am going to have a fist fight out there. You can come and watch.
Cousin Curtis getting his tail kicked.
That's
awesome. Stealing those rims.
It's like when your neighbors throw up the weird ring and they're having play wrestling in the backyard.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're kind of going that direction. I love it.
You can watch a lot of that on YouTube. It's all there. That backyard wrestling stuff, man. That people
wrestling.
They just kill one another. I know it's supposed to be scripted. I don't think they know. They've not gotten the message yet that it's scripted.
Oh, Jeff fell on the tacks again.
No.
Oh no.
He physically has thumbtacks all in his back.
Got him with the light bulbs.
Yeah. Oh gosh, glass everywhere. They're wrestling in it, getting cut all to pieces. Good Lord. When we come back, invest in America, says the vice president on Extra 106.3.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Sunny and 90. How are you going to keep that 90 degrees on the outside of your house versus inside? How are you going to stay comfortable inside for that air conditioning that you've already paid for and your HVAC is just working hard to churn it out? And then soon as it comes out the vents, then it goes right out those energy inefficient doors and those energy inefficient windows, those single pane windows. Keep the hot air out and the cool air in with Southern Exteriors. Not only do they do doors and windows, they also do roofing, siding, gutters. They do it all. The exterior of your home will never look better if you hire Southern Exteriors. You'll fall in love with the house just the way you fell in love with it when you bought it. There's nothing better. And it goes to the bottom line of your house, too, how much it's worth when you do those upgrades. So make sure you get it done today with Southern Exteriors. Call them now at 8779-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. And they'll give you 10% off any job, no matter how big the job, or 12 months, 0% financing. Do not wait. Get that energy efficiency in your house. Keep the hot air out and the cool air in with Southern Exteriors.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
Hey, it's a Kimmer talking about Stovall.
Yeah, I just wanted to brag on Stovall. I went up there and actually got a quote on some of their material up there, and he gave me the quotes I wanted, but he said what would work best, they don't carry, and referred me to one of their competitors. That's how good they are. And sure enough, he was right. The material he was talking about that they don't carry, it's actually going to work best for me. So I've got that on the way. It all worked out well. Makes me want to go back and buy something from them now.
Folks, when it comes to landscaping supplies, start at Stovall. 11 locations around Atlanta. Online at StovallInc.com.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at TaxLienCode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 17th. Marietta City Schools approved the installation of vape detection systems in bathrooms at Marietta Middle and High Schools before class begins this fall. The Halo Smart systems detect the chemicals in electronic cigarettes and text school officials when set off. Installation of the systems is expected to cost $60,000. The school system reported over 50 student incidents with vape products last year. A former Cobb County police officer drowned while trying to rescue a family off the coast of South Carolina. 38-year-old Chase Childers of Dallas had received a Lifetime Achievement Award for saving lives during his police career. His family posted online that he was a devoted husband and father who displayed courage and selflessness during his life. A GoFundMe account has been posted to raise money for the family. And President Trump says he's convinced Atlanta's favorite soda to change its ingredients. President Trump posted on social media Wednesday that Coca-Cola agreed to use real cane sugar instead of high-fructose corn syrup for American products. No official word from Coca-Cola yet. Today's weather partly cloudy, hot and humid with temperatures reaching the mid-90s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters. They do it all, and they will give you 10% off or 12 months, 0% financing, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Tug and Los until 10. It is it's been a great day. This morning has flown by, and you've made it go by so quickly, interacting on social media at Tug Coward, at Front Office Los, at Whiskey Click, and at Extra 106.3. And the phone calls that we've taken this morning has really made the show. So thank you for that. Love the fact that J.D. Vance is a guy that believes in this country the way he does.
We're in such good shape for 2028. Such amazing shape. J.D. Vance, if you get him in front of a microphone, you put him on television, he's one of those guys. First off, you can't corner him. It's just impossible to corner him. And he's so smooth the way he goes about what he does. Yet there's still that element that you get from Donald Trump with that authenticity.
Just very candid.
He's just going to be very honest about it. I don't know when that meme started of making him look like a fat child.
It's been a while.
And he leaned into it. I mean, this was like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And he leaned into it. He started retweeting all of them.
Yeah.
And the ones that made him laugh.
And how do you diffuse something that they're trying to troll you with?
You laugh along with it.
You embrace it.
Because then it turned into even supporters of him having fun with it.
Right.
Because he's having fun with it. It's like, this is a guy who when you think about what the tactic is going to be from the left, like how are they going to go about it? All right, so you've got a guy who isn't from a rich background. You've got a guy who is in an interracial marriage. All right, so those are two aspects that the left always goes after, that they're not going to have anything you can't land a glove there. Well, he's from privilege. No, he's not.
They say he grew up literally with an addicted mother.
He's a white supremacist. Yeah, he's married to an Indian woman.
Yeah, doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, okay, good luck with that. So, but take a listen, though, and just with all that being said, imagine this guy on the campaign trail. Imagine when he starts talking about, and these are very MAGA-oriented topics, it's talking about the investing in America and making America great for Americans.
For years, our government has done the exact opposite. We have rewarded people who shipped American jobs overseas and penalized the great small businesses who invested right here in America, right here at home. And the President Trump's leadership, we're flipping that on its head. If you're building here, if you're making here, if you're working in the United States of America, we just gave you a big, fat tax break. But if you're going to ship American jobs overseas, thanks to Donald Trump, you're going to pay a big, fat tariff. It's time to invest in our own country and our own people once again, and we're doing it.
That's going to be, imagine trying to go up against that on a debate stage.
You're losing, because that speaks to me.
Yes.
That speaks to my soul.
Speaks to middle America.
Yeah, of course it does. He believes in this country the way I believe in it, the way Los believes in it, the way Dre, but maybe you listening right now, the way you believe in this country, and you want to see it operate. I've always been told my whole life, charity starts at home. Take care of home. And when you get that figured out, when you can take care of home, then you can help others.
I just find it very difficult to think, how are you going to put him on a debate stage? Because obviously when he got a chance to go against Tim Walz, that didn't work out well for Tim. I mean, that created another meme of him kind of making that face with the cocked head of like, Like, really? That's really his point?
Yeah.
He has all the magnitude that you want in terms of, he just has the look, he has the sound, he has the policy, and he's talking about things that makes middle America go, hell yeah.
But he's likable.
And likable.
I think that's it more than anything else. See the difference in him and Barack Obama, both were very likable. Barack had nothing behind it. It was all veneer, as you used that word earlier.
I've said it was a bucket. You fill it with what your hopes and dreams are, and I will then be that for you without ever talking about what actual policy is going to be.
And then he would take the bucket and just throw it out because he didn't care.
I'll never forget the woman that, and this was 07, 08, and this is just how my brain works. We interviewed a woman at one of the rallies, and she made it a point. If I take care of him, he's going to take care of me. And that never occurred.
No, of course it didn't. He was no substance. J.D. Vance, on the other hand, is a man of substance. He means what he says. He believes in the greatness of America. He knows what it means to pick himself up by his bootstraps and put himself through college, to be in a rough home situation, and yet be able to overcome that because of the greatness of America.
And for me, he never hit my radar until East Palestine. When that train derailment and that explosion occurred, and again, he's a senator from Ohio, but he was the first pair of shoes on the ground, somebody in authority who's going, look at the water. He's like, we have major problems here.
And we do, and still do.
And I think that helped. The suggestion was that it was Donald Trump's sons that were the primary backers of like J.D. Vance, like, hey, Dad, you got to look at this.
This is the guy.
This is the guy. And when they made the selection, remember, we were all discussing who could it possibly be? And the one person who had nailed it way before then was Buck Sexton. He's like, J.D. Vance. It'll be, and he said it like 6 months before. J.D. Vance ends up being that guy that can carry this movement forward and do so in a way where, as much as Donald Trump is stepping in it this week, and we're going to see what the big picture ends up being in terms of what they do with some of their conspiracy charges. If that ends up being true, that's how they're going to go after the deep state. J.D. Vance doesn't step in problems. No. At least not yet.
No,
he's got been a moment.
He's got a great radar.
He detects where you're coming from.
Exactly right, dude. And again, I think having substance as a person matters, because you don't fluctuate in your beliefs. You don't fluctuate in the values. You don't give up on your values. You don't say, hey, this doesn't match my values, but I'm doing it anyway.
There's something that he does that I've picked up on, and I've started kind of keeping it in my mind, working it into my vernacular. Whenever I'm having a discussion with someone and it starts to get a little sideways in terms of maybe I'm having to make a complaint, maybe I'm having to approach a subject that gets a little bit more, needs a little bit more nuance. You know what J.D. Vance does? He says your name. He always says your name before he gets involved in it. So it like personalizes it. So that, yeah, the cameras are rolling. This is going to end up on 60 Minutes. And he'll say, Martha. And then get into his point. And you're like, wow, that works every time.
Because it draws you in.
It softens no matter what it is. Like, we're just having a discussion here. Even though I'm not. I'm having a discussion for the whole rest of the TV audience.
And I respect you enough to
say your name.
To speak to you.
Yes.
I think that's... I don't read many, like, books.
Pay attention to it.
Yeah, for sure I will. And now that you said it, I remember probably several times that he's done it. I don't know. I've never read those communications books where they teach you how to, sales tactics or whatever. I don't know if he's read those or not, but it doesn't come off as inauthentic like that stuff typically does.
He is not at that point talking at you. He's talking with you.
Right.
And I think that's going to be his great weapon in 2028, is that as a communicator, he is top notch. And so just getting to hear him on the campaign trail, basically, I mean, this is all warm up for 2028. Mm-hmm. You know, why do you think he was sent out there to do what he was doing, talk about investing in America? This is all about rolling up, getting ready for 2028.
And it's not going to take much because he's a polished man.
He's very polished. He's very good.
And I mean that in the best ways, because most time you think about politicians and polished, you think the veneer again, just the fake, all that. I don't want any part of that. And I don't think that's what he is.
Well, it's very easy in this day and age with social media to have a weird misstep.
Oh, yeah.
And then how damaging is it to you? And this is, J.D. Vance is not like Donald Trump in that Donald Trump never needed any of this stuff. Like, he wasn't made by politics. He wasn't made by the media. You know, I've often said this. If they didn't make you, they can't break you. If they didn't make you, they can't break you. Donald Trump doesn't need the media. He doesn't need any of this stuff. When he steps in as a politician, he's like, whatever, I'm not a politician. He just keeps it moving.
I don't care.
Every other politician, every tactic that we've seen over the last several years on the left is good enough to take out any Republican politician. But he's not a politician.
Except for Donald Trump.
And he wasn't made by this industry.
Right.
So that's why he doesn't have a problem with it. That's why it's important that J.D. Vance gets these reps, because he can step in it versus Donald Trump.
I just don't see him doing it much.
Neither do I.
He's a guy that is very, very so well put together. I caution to use the word calculated because that sounds inauthentic, and I don't think he is. He's so well thought out. I think maybe that's the way to put it. He's not working on the fly. He's thought about the things that he's discussing or bringing up.
Consider what the left has used against him. They actually tried to take him jogging after his child to make that into like a, well, look at him. Look at the lack of athleticism. Like, that looks like any dad jogging after their child at Disney World.
Yeah.
At the same time, last weekend, he was out on like a 5.5 mile run, a ruck with a bunch of Marines that are still active duty.
Yeah, he's badass.
And that's the question. It's like, is that all you have?
Yes,
is that really what you have? Is that the plan for 2028?
Well, yeah, that's why we had that Harry Hinton audio from earlier from CNN, and they were talking about how the midterms are dire for the Democrat Party.
They're looking very strong for the Republicans, more so than you've ever had in the last 25 years.
Typically, they've been plus 20. They've been plus 35 at times. Now the Republicans are plus 12, something that's never happened for the Republican Party before in the midterms, especially with a Republican president.
That would shock the other side, because the one understanding you always have is the House flips to the opposing party almost invariably for the better part of 50 years. If it doesn't, man, the left has problems. Like, y'all got to figure out, never mind, don't figure anything out. Don't listen to me.
Yes.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it like it is.
I'll fix it for you for millions of dollars.
Continue on, soldier. Continue on, sailor. That's exactly right. We want them continuing down that road. Listen to people like Joe Scarborough. He's got all the right answers. Listen to that guy. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Just because it's Friday Eve and we've not done it in a day or two, I've got this liberal meltdown montage I want you to hear. It'll put a smile on your face because you're like, who are these people? And I'm glad I'm not acquainted with any of them.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and X-Mark. When it comes to cutting grass, nothing cuts like an X-Mark from Howard Brothers. Now, here's the cool part about it. It's built for speed, okay? It's engineered for precision. So when it is time to get in the yard or it is time to work on that job, you can get it taken care of really quickly with equipment that you trust and purchasing from people that you trust. That's what you get from Howard Brothers and X-Mark. Whether you've got an acre, whether you've got an entire fleet, X-Mark mowers deliver flawless cut and reliability to you every single time. So stop dreaming about it. It's time to make this a reality. Get on over to Howard Brothers. Make it happen with X-Mark from Howard Brothers. That's where the pros go, and that's where homeowners head over to level up.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 17th. From the NFL, the Washington Commanders have signed future Pro Football Hall of Famer pass rusher Von Miller to a one-year deal. The veteran has accumulated 129.5 sacks during his career. The Atlanta Braves, they'll be back in action tomorrow night as the All-Star break will come to an end. The New York Yankees will be in town for a weekend series at Truist Park. The Braves, currently 42-53 on the season. That's 9.5 games out of the final wild card spot. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from the Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Xtra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Xtra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Xtra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
It can always be fun. There's always laughter on the show. We figure out a way to laugh even when the news sometimes can be heavy.
I really need to rebrand you.
Why is that?
Well, just for fun. I mean, just as a, like a loving character, like Tug Cowart. You're Radio Meemaw.
I like that. I don't mind being Radio Meemaw.
Because, everybody loves their Meemaw.
That's right. There's not a soul that doesn't love Meemaw. That's right.
And then you have to be like Tug Cowart, a.k.a. Meemaw.
Meemaw. Yeah, there's a song came out about, I don't know, a year ago now. It's called Mamaw's House. And it's all about that. Loving your Mamaw, loving your Meemaw, loving your grandmother.
See how it works?
It's
like, wouldn't it be awesome if everyone looked at Tug, no matter what you were saying, offensive or otherwise, a little bit edgy, and you're like, yeah, but that's Meemaw. Yeah, and you gotta love Meemaw.
That's right. You can't be mad at Meemaw for long, even if they said something you don't like.
Like I know he's talking about enhancing the spending in the hopes of growing the GDP.
Yeah.
And Meemaw might be wrong, but I love Meemaw.
That's right. And she's got the right to her opinion.
Tug Cowart, your Radio Meemaw.
That's exactly right. This will cleanse your palate. This will launch us into Friday. It was a compilation that I ran across, and I just giggled. It's the most wonderful lib meltdowns. And we've not had, I can't remember the last time we did a lib meltdown. Jeray, do you remember? It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Ran across a lot of them, but we've got a good stock here.
Yeah, and we'll just fade out of it because this thing goes on for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. I just want you to hear a little bit of it. That way you laugh like Shane Gillis is on stage.
I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm going to do it. You want to know why? Because the alternative is a fucking fascist. A fascist is a fascist.
This email is for patriots only. You've been identified as one of President Trump's fear system's most loyal defenders, and according to your donor file, you'd make an excellent addition to the Trump army.
We're losing our democracy!
Big eyes.
Get a limited edition camo, keep America great hat.
She's so upset.
To let them know that you are the president's first line of defense when it comes to fighting off the liberal mob.
Could this year get any
I don't know what she's talking about.
to jail, and I can't wait.
So, sweetheart, he's not going anywhere except the Oval Office in 2020.
Why can't women have abortion? Listen to me, Republicans. Listen. You are the people in history they warned us about. Maybe we can have the conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running.
And so it goes on and on and on, like 5 minutes worth. But I just marveled at it as I watched it yesterday and just giggled. My favorite was the woman that was crying because she was sent an email
she was
on Team Trump. She was crying, physically crying. You know what? I've been identified before in an email that came from a Democrat. Maybe it was John Ossoff, I think it was. That they had put me on a John Ossoff email list, and he was talking about all the great things he was going to do. You know what I did? I said unsubscribe.
Not a problem.
Delete. Never look back. This woman was physically in tears That's mental illness on display.
I knew how crazy some people would be when they started signing me up for all of those emails. And it was, all right, I'll take 3 seconds to hit unsubscribe.
Yeah, right.
And eventually the person just got tired of doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, good gag.
Yeah, right. I have
It's going to take 5 seconds out of my day.
Just, and
no.
I'm so upset that I can't believe they put me on an email that says I like Donald Trump.
She just failed to mention I'm so mentally ill.
And if you listen to every one of them, you know what they all had in common? Mental illness.
Blue hair?
No, there was a few of those.
Are they doing it in their car?
few of those too. But no, the common theme, liberal white women. Every one of them.
What's the most dangerous thing in politics right now?
Liberal white woman.
Yep.
Period. Hands down. Nothing else.
I mean, if you could deport them.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be an amazing place.
I don't know how they fall into the traps they fall. I don't know what it is about those cat ladies that...
what is it I tell you about? What do they lead with?
Their heart.
Not their head.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And so everything is about how it makes you feel.
And that's where the emotion comes from as you hear.
And you hear it.
Yeah. But
we've been through the numbers.
Yeah.
There is a large amount of mental illness that shows up on that side with that group.
Nate Silver has pointed it out, and he is a liberal. It's like, yep, our side.
He's like, we got a lot of mentally ill people.
It's not like he wanted to tell you that. It's not like he wanted to share that information, but at least he was honest enough to do it.
One of the aspects that we've now seen from that attack on the ICE detention center in Alvarado, Texas, the amount of people that are recognized as being mentally ill, where authorities are like, this person's been on our radar, they're mentally ill.
We've been dealing with them already.
We know who there's 2 of them that are trans.
Yeah.
No, they're totally fine. They're not mentally ill at all.
Not at all.
But that is one of the hallmarks of what's going on right now, is that the left is finding a way to kind of coddle these people with mental illness and use them as their street criminals.
Absolutely right. And you saw it in Thomas Crooks, you saw it in Ryan Ruth, and you'll continue to see it with all the Antifa and Trantifa people as they attack ICE officers. It used to be up, 2 weeks ago, it was up 700%. That was the number. Now up to like 846% up in more attacks.
You've got the laughs. Like the montage is funny of how crazy these women are. It doesn't take much to go, all right, she finally went over the edge.
Snapped.
She snapped. Here's what happened.
Yeah, that's just below the surface. And I try to, we always want to laugh because the news is heavy at times, and we always try to keep that in mind as we put the show together and the things we talk about and the things that we laugh at. But as funny as that is, when you start just
when you get pushed a little bit further,
peeling back the onion, how many of those people are capable of doing something crazy? I'd say all of them.
If you're going to lose your mind in an email,
yeah, you're definitely
where you're crying emotionally.
Oh, dude,
at an email,
that's where the Democrat Party is. And if you wonder why they are nervous about the midterms, because Harry Enton had the numbers that they are really right now. If the election was held right now, Democrats would be losing in a landslide, and Trump would pick up 12 seats.
One of the aspects of what Elon Musk brought up is when he was like, well, we'll have the America Party. Okay, you're talking about a third party. That's never works, and now that has been essentially curtailed. You know, he now has a business relationship again with the administration. In my opinion, the whole third party thing's over with. Yeah. But if there was ever a movement for another party, it would be the replacement of where the Democrats have gone.
That's right.
It's not on our end.
No, that's right.
It's on the fact that you have a 19% approval rating for Democrats as of now, that if you ever thought there was going to be the emergence of another party, the problem is that you have 19% of the people that are crazy, who are backing this stuff, and the 80% that are basically the silent majority are going, how do we dig this out of the ditch?
And what would happen even if they tried to put a third party together?
How do we bring back sanity to the Democrats?
Well, because you're going to have the people that are saying you're not communist enough. We want to run the third party to move it even further left than where they are now. That would bankrupt the whole thing. That would sink the ship.
What Democrats are going to have to learn, and this is the everyday, run-of-the-mill, sane, blue-collar, listen, I'm socially liberal, but I'm physically conservative. you're going to have to kill off that end of your party. In the same way that I know every day I have to beat these people down and make sure that they cannot get anywhere near the ballot box and they can't get anywhere near power, until you recognize that that's what you need to do on your own side, you can't allow these people to ever survive a primary. Until you do that, you're going to be stuck.
And how many people are saying that out loud?
Mom Donnie should never get to a point where he can hold major political office. And yet, that's what their side is allowing to happen.
That's what they're on the cusp of in the biggest city in the country.
Should never happen. If Democrats want to win elections, want to have a more than a 19% approval rating, you got to end that part of your party.
There's the advice.
And that was free.
That was the advice you need to take, but none of them will. None of them
That
will.
was free, baby.
Download the app, listen live and on demand at your leisure. If you missed anything from the show today, especially the call with Diane from Smyrna, talking about what it takes to actually immigrate to other countries. It was fantastic.
We're going to San Miguel.
That's right. Diane, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. But on the app, you can listen live and on demand at your leisure. That does it for us. Backs up next, then Clay and Buck and the local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Almost a Friday. Stand on your tippy toes. You can see it. And it tastes so good. Fridays. Who doesn't love a Friday? Y'all come back now. You hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.